Hello and welcome to our coverage of the EU Open Series. I'm Sherzy1 and it's January 2nd and Wonder Boy's going to get to cast some Halo Infinite. Harry, welcome aboard.
Thanks a lot, Richie. Yeah, it's good to be here today. We have such an exciting month of Halo Infinite esports ahead of us. We obviously have the Pro Series on Wednesday. 8 teams already in that tournament. What we're here today to do, Richie, is to find the other 8 teams that are going to join them. The top 8 from today's tournament will play on Wednesday in the Pro Series. And I can't wait to find out who's going to be there because there are some juicy teams in this bracket today.
Yep, you have the honor of, if you make top 8 this week, you get the chance of playing against the likes of Ascend and Navi. So what a chance that will be. What a ticket that is, Harry. No real chance there for them to maybe get the better of them. But what you have is the honor of pushing yourself forward into that upper echelons and maybe the cream rising to the top. Up first, we've got Whysingleelim, which is Sherzy 2, Book 20, Blackjack, and Hybrid up against Fantastics. Now, talk to me about this Fantastics team. You were mentioning before we went on about Valkyrie. He's a player to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's one of the top AMs from Halo 5, in my opinion. Didn't really break it into that kind of top 8 situation over in America, but has now moved to Germany for Halo Infinite. I'm not sure exactly why, probably personal reasons, but either way, it means he's eligible to compete in Europe. Has teamed with the likes of Envor and Super CC, Taulek, who is, of course, on Kansas City Pioneers, one of the top NA teams. He's teamed with those type of players in America for Halo 5. So to see him come over to Europe now and compete over here is really exciting. He's teamed with what I can assume is a bunch of Destiny friends or players, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this team stacks up against the team they're playing now, which is, I mean, it's littered with event winners.
Yeah, his teammates, of course, are going to be Kawhi, the mains rather, and Teo. So, like you say, some of those Destiny players have jumped out of the Crucible over to the arena. They're going to jump straight up, and our first game type is going to be Aquarius CTF. But what we have here is, like you said, a staple, a pillar of EU talent in Book 20 and Blackjack. They're back and looking to make a name for themselves once again.
Yeah, if you're a Halo historian or have been part of European Halo for a long time, I mean, you'll know Buck 20 is an event winner. You'll know Blackjack's an event winner throughout Reach. And of course, Buck 20 going all the way back to Halo 3 in 2008. So these guys have sort of a decent pedigree in European Halo in the past. Perhaps arguably don't have as much time to put into the game nowadays as they did back then, but still have that event winning pedigree. Then of course you have Hybrid as well on this team. For those of you who are fans of a little gamer called what's his name now, Ninja, something like that. He teamed with Ninja in Halo 4 and won the first Halo 4 event on UK soil. So he's teamed with some decent players in the past as Hybrid. He knows what it takes to win events as well. Then, of course, we have your brother rounding out this team, who is an incredible damage dealer. I know you won't speak too much about him because, you don't want to come across biased, but he's a good friend of mine, Sherzy, too. He's a really decent damage dealer. I want to see him propel himself. And to be honest, he fits right in on this team with the caliber of player that he's teaming with here. I think he fits right in.
Something you talked about there is, maybe the likes of Book 20 and Blackjack not having the sort of time they may be used to put into the game. Do you think that's something that might come up to hurt them in the end when they come up against some of these better teams, that maybe not knowing some of the call-outs and some of the movements, and maybe the mechanics are just a little bit off?
I don't think the call-outs so much. I think maybe the lack of scrims will certainly be hurting them at this point. When you decide you want to play a game competitively a bit late, you can miss parts of the meta that are quite key to understanding the game as it evolves. So the lack of scrims is certainly going to be hurting them, but the good thing is Sherzy 2 has been playing since the start of the game. He's been scrimming this game. He knows the meta. He can be the one to direct traffic and be the one to organize his troops. Hybrid, of course, has plenty of high-level players that he plays with, part of the 8's Discord as well. So should be a fun game to kick off the stream here, Richie.
And here we go. Game 1, Aquarius CTF of our winners round 4. So this is going to be some decent action to kick us off here. And we're straight away on board with the boys over on Whysingleelim. This game is going to be back and forth, no doubt. And something that these Whysingleelim players have to keep in check here is not, stepping out of line. These players are definitely were able to shoot straight.
Yeah, absolutely. Love an Aquarius CTF to kick off a series as well. Such a fast-paced game type. We all know it's had the comparisons to Midship. It's had the comparisons to arena maps in the past, but absolutely love this game type. It really sets the pace, and that's a crucial 1v1 to win there from the sides of Fantastic. Buck 20 looking to get some P-Tower control. He's taken down though.
Book 20 had a little bit of one of those slow starts, 0, 0, and 3 now. Maybe needs to slow down those deaths, just trying to feel each other out now, these two teams. But what we're seeing from Fantastic, they have a little bit of control of the map now, and 2 dead at the side of Whysingleelim. This could be the start of a push.
Yeah, love this from Valkyrie and Zami, who we're on board with right now. Controlling this closet side, so important. Because you want to try and run the flag that way. That's the side of the map with the most cover. You can see, though, Whysingleelim getting 2 kills on Fantastic means, well, Zami's going to have to try and play sneaky here. And, well, he's given this player right here an absolutely bamboozling play. Finally taken down. Blackjack there taken down, though, first of all. So now, time for Jersey2 to try and get this closet side of the map back under his team's control. You have Camo coming up in 8 seconds as well, Richie. So big kills in the middle of the map coming up right here.
Jersey2 gets a trade. Camouflage about to pop. It's going to be very important to see which team can get their hands on it here. Blackjack is the victim of a beautiful nade shot from Teo over on his flag side. Looking to play a little bit of defense over here towards his closet. Cleans up there as well. That's 2. And they can start to push their own.
Yeah, great time to get kills here from Teo. Really impressive. 3 in a row now. Right as the camouflage comes up, make it 4. 1 away from a killing spree and has closet side control. Hybrid lost alive for just a moment if you take him down, but there's the killing spree. Reversal as well. Playing his life perfectly. This man is causing all kinds of problems.
Finally taken down, but on a hellacious run, getting 4 or 5 kills and really trying to cement his team's push. Another kill goes down the kill feed. That's going to be Book 20 once again. And he takes his tally to 2 and 7 for the moment. There is the camouflage player. It's Valkyrie who's thrown that flag out just to be a little bit of a distraction because the last man alive.
Yeah, there's an overextended though from Whysingleelim. You can hear that flag taken alert. I wonder if that's just a distraction play to pull resources away from Valkyrie here. Lovely grenade. That's a killing spree for him. Great shots to accompany it too. But oh no, the dynamo will end his progress. Zami is trying to run the flag, but that's a beautiful nade from Teo. That means that flag can continue to be moved here. He needs to get this kill hybrid, and he does. Big 1v1 to win here in bottom middle as well, but Nemain wins it himself. Flag still alive though, Richie. This is a good passage of play though from Fantastic. They could be on for a flag cap here.
Flag still out over towards the car side. They've got the numbers to solidify this and make it a 1-0 lead. Shots go down with this time. Blackjack comes out on top. Has he done enough to be able to stop this flag push? It is down. Nobody on the touch for now. We're going to see him drop down and get the return and perhaps a counter move here as 2 members still down for Fantastic and Book 20 the only man down for Whysingleelim.
That's a strange push there from Valkyrie. You should know that flag is being returned and there is no way for you to get that one back. And well, he's weak. He pushes Courtyard out in the open, and all the while, Hybrid running the flag sticks it home. A perfect counter cap there from Whysingleelim. They're down in slays, I believe, but well, it's the objective that matters here, Richie. It's 1-0.
Harry, let's talk about that. Fantastic. Look, they've done everything they possibly could to secure that flag cap. They find themselves somehow, some way now down 1 flag. How has that happened? Talk me through it.
Oh, I mean, again, it's all about those overextenders. When you have an enemy running a flag, you have 2 choices. You sacrifice the flag cap and get your own base back under your control, or do you go forwards, get in the enemy base and try and make a stand? The latter is what happened for Whysingleelim. They got the slays, and unfortunately, again, I have to keep lamenting that play from Valkyrie. You heard the guy on the return. You get taken down easy. That's an easy death. It gives your enemies the numbers. And well, that's why we're at 1-0 right now, Richie. Again, Fantastic up in slays, but it's just those minute decisions that make the difference in games like these.
Now that through the eyes and ears of Book 20. He's got control of the closet. Valkyrie taken down to no shields. Will he get the finish? Yes, he will. Takes him down to the respawn screen. Sends in that dynamo grenade over the top. Looking for some ticks. He's not going to sizzle anything over that side of the map, though. He's going to run this fridge side. It was a little bit against the cut of the grain, but he's got over the halfway point, and they've got 1 member down. Make that a full complement of players now for Fantastics, but he's not receiving any sorts of damage. He's finally gets taken down to half shields. They're positioned top middle. Now they need to make sure they don't desperate this play.
Wow, I did wonder if that was going to be maybe a stop, but instead Blackjack is able to run the flag in. That's going to be 2 to the good now for Whysingleelim. They got the kills, did Fantastic, but it was just slightly too late. Now we'll see what Zami can do here. If he can kill the player on the return before he sends the flag back to base, that could be a great play, but instead Jersey2 plays his life. Zami could have killed Jersey2 on the return, but instead Jersey2 alive and kicking. And well, if he continues to play his life here, Jersey 2, this could be more control on the map for Whysingleelim. How does he get away with that one?
Heatwave in hand as well now for Jersey 2. Able to play his life expertly. Got a player down over towards this fridge area. Turns 1 into 2. That's going to be a double kill. They've got a lot of pressure now over towards the Valkyrie's side of the base. Fantastic in a little bit of trouble here. 2 members still down, but Jersey 2 needs Blackjack to get touch tight with him here to maybe start this push a little bit. See Blackjack soar in, but unfortunately it's to his own demise. Faced with 2 members, Heatwave! It starts to cook, but it just cannot turn 2.
Killing spree before it goes down, but I love the decision making there. Once your teammates die in the enemy base, there's no point you staying on top middle. Why not continue the pressure and allow your spawners a bit more freedom on the map? But instead now, Valkyrie, Heatwave in hand, has this closet side control as well. So if his team can get the kills, put some damage down, he can move in with the Heatwave here. Has to hit these shots, but Jersey 2 takes him down at a disadvantage in the weaponry, but certainly not in the accuracy. Wonderful play.
Jersey 2 gives him the wiggles, shakes the hips, gives him the Shakira moves and gets that kill. That's not what you want to see for Valkyrie. Something we're seeing from Whysingleelim is they're starting to grow in confidence here. They're growing into the game. They've got themselves 2 flag caps after what can be considered a slow start.
Yeah, and they're evening up in the slaying column as well. Still down overall, but again, it's these sneaky plays. Jersey 2 getting behind them just as they feel like they have map control here. Fantastic. You have Jersey 2 beaming you cross map. And guess what? He can pull a new flag. So now, for Fantastic, they have decisions to make. Do they come back and deal with Jersey 2, which they do? They get a trade, but that's pulled resources away from the push on the Whysingleelim base. That resets the map for the red team. Wonderful play. Yet again, it's minute from Jersey 2. The fact he gets a kill and a trade across the map just resets the entire control of the map for his team. Wonderful.
Blackjack keeps this flag alive. Gets a touch on it. Gets a second touch as well. The mains does get a kill, so this push might not be as successful as what first might have been feared. The mains is down. Buck 20, you can see him pinging things left, right, and centre, trying to communicate to his team. Blackjack hits some lovely shots, sends that man to the respawn screen. Flag is going to get sent home here under the nose of Blackjack, but he's done a great job there.
Yeah, good job getting the kills there from Blackjack. I don't think that flag was ever really a contender for going in. The thrust saving his life there, winning the fight. But again, I don't think that was ever intentionally a serious run. Well done by Zami, I believe it was, getting the return. It had to be done, because obviously if you don't, you're going to continue to run that flag in. But that, again, just resets the control on the map. Looks like 1 dead on the side of Fantastic, but only 1 alive for Whysingleelim. So now it's time, with 3 minutes to go, Richie. You have about a minute until the next camouflage. You're 2 caps down. We have to see this next push be a successful one from Fantastic if they want to force overtime here.
Teo gets a kill, but Blackjack answers back in anger. They have got closet control here on their own side of the base, have Whysingleelim. As I say that, though, a trade goes through, but they can do this all day long. Make sure that Fantastic aren't at a full complement when they do enter the base. They are heading in fridge side here, which will give them closet spawns, which is not ideal, but it needs most at this point, Harry.
Yeah, what's crazy is when you look at the scoreboard in-game as we start to see Zami move this flag fridge side. The slays all in favor of Fantastic. It's close, but they're edging them out for sure. It's, again, just those types of decisions that are being made. Like we're seeing now, the overextend and flag pull come in. Where's that flag going? Not sure why it's front base. Maybe it's so his teammates can bait the return and potentially get some kills here. All up to Jersey 2 to try and hop the touch. I thought that was a return, actually, but Blackjack last alive. This should be a flag capture. Blackjack has to get some nades on the flag, but I don't think he'll get there in time. So just sacrifice this return for some map control, but he's killed the return and they're getting slays, and they killed another returner there as well. The flag will eventually go in, but so many dying here for Fantastic could mean a nice triple for Blackjack first of all, but also another flag run coming on the closet side.
4 dead momentarily for Fantastic. They're back up now. Have they been able to slow this flag grab down just a touch, just enough for the rest of the teammates to be a little bit of an influence? They're starting to overextend over towards fridge side as well. Blackjack has to be careful of that, relay that information if he can. Sizzle Stick does some damage, but not going to be enough. And the mains gets that kill. He's going to return that flag. They have about a minute 20 now to get another one over the line.
Yeah, that's what we were asking for them, Richie. We were asking from them to get a flag capture in the next minute or so. They've done that, and they didn't hemorrhage the counter rider. Lovely shots from the mains there. just allows more momentum on this closet side. Sees the assist coming from Valkyrie as well, finishing off his kill. That's 2 for Valkyrie actually before he goes down. So now if you're the mains, you have to push forward to this closet side. You have 55 seconds on the clock. Your team is down 2-1. You've got to maintain this position, wait for your team to push up the map and get kills just like that on Buck 20.
Lovely backstab out of Jersey 2. He has lost 2 of his teammates though. Now Jersey 2, the last man alive. He has gotten 2 kills, so that could be enough to stop this push. And maybe the time is against Fantastic here. They've done enough damage, it would seem, to quell this push, have Whysingleelim. It's Honor's even now, and they just haven't got control. They haven't got position to pull this flag. Buck 20 sitting back flag, trying to be a nuisance. He is just that. He gets a little bit of damage down, but they're 2 dead. We could see a flag grab.
Yeah, we certainly could. And I'll tell you what, if this flag is out past the 15-second mark, watch out for that camouflage coming up as well. Jersey 2's the last alive out of the map here for Whysingleelim. That's a big kill from Buck 20 to stop the flag run for now. 3 seconds. I believe this one will go to overtime, so you have to watch out for Teo here running the flag. There you go. New camos up on the map as well, so you have a decision to make here if you're Whysingleelim. You're 2 dead for now, although Zami on the other side is last alive. They're hopping the return. Can Zami make a play here? They kill the flag carrier. Can they double hop this return? They can. The pie for overtime runs out, and Whysingleelim win game 1 in a close fashion. Oh my word.
What a game that was, and that sets us up for a beautiful Slayer game on Bazaar. But let's talk about it. Let's look at the stats and see exactly what way it did shake out, Harry, because when we were looking at that there, it looks comfortable at one point. You know, the start of the game was all pretty much fantastic. They were getting outslayed. They found themselves down by a couple of caps. They grow back in confidence. There is the stats there. Talk me through it, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, just a crazy series of events. I'd love to see the Slays if we could produce a Spills. We love you. Of course, Spilly on the producing here again today. Well, there's the lovely lobby. Thanks, Spilly. Appreciate that. But we want to see the kills on the stream. Yeah, as we said, it was overall a fairly even slaying performance. But you see the Slays on the board. Again, it just seems mostly in favor of Fantastic. They had the kills on the map, but again, it comes back to those decisions we were talking about in the game. The decision to overextend, the decision to, you know, go forward when perhaps other players might think to go back and clear out their own base. It's risky, but it pays off, and it pays off in dividends down the line. And I tell you what, Whysingleelim did the decisions, the micro decisions in that game absolutely perfectly. You don't have to win that game type by outslaying your opponent. You just have to make the decisions and make them correctly.
I'd love to take a look at the damage as well, Spilly. We could get a little eyeball on that to see exactly what way it did shake out. Something we talked about with Jersey 2 being a damage dealer. It'd be interesting to see whether he does get that once again. There we have it. Damage dealt across the board. Nemain's going to be the top damage dealer in the game with over 7k damage. Jersey 2 having a slower game by his standards, but definitely keeping up with the rest of his team. Is it a case that experience just won the day there, Hart?
Sometimes you can say that. If it happened here, I would say obviously you have the experience on the side of Whysingleelim, and again, it comes down to that veteranship, doesn't it? It comes down to making those crucial decisions when it comes to those crossroads. And when you have the likes of Blackjack, Hybrid, Buck 20, they've all won events before. They know what to do against these arguably more inexperienced players when it comes to this type of game type. So I'd be inclined to agree with you there. We see obviously updates from the bracket coming in. So again, I would maybe expect to see on Slayer Bazaar, with those types of Slayer numbers coming out from Fantastic, a better performance from them there. It was a close game, Richie, but again, it came down to those minute situations where experience pays off.
So you mentioned it there. Slayer on Bazaar is going to be our game number 2. Harry, talk to me about the keys to success here now for Fantastic to claw themselves back into this and push it to a game 3.
Well, of course, on Bazaar, it's all about the overshield and the rockets. The rockets every 3 minutes, the overshield every 2. You want to maintain middle map on Bazaar. We all know this, whether it's Flag or Slayer, the middle of the map is where you want to be. You want to have your opponent spawning outside of the map and trying to fight their way back in, because they're so vulnerable in those types of situations. Second win condition, make sure you're controlling the equipment. We're talking both thrusts and the grapple. You don't want to be in exposed position when you're going for overshield. It's out in the open. Or the rocket launcher, out in the open. You can be shot by so many angles, whereas if you have the grapple, you can be from a safer angle and grapple those bad boys away. That's the meta on this game type. It's what I'm going to be looking for here.
Something that we're also seeing is when, certainly in the Slayers, is controlling the enemy bar, whether you have a member in one bar or both, if you can at all times, just to control those spawns. How important is the bar here to maybe have control of your own, because otherwise you can see it spiraling out of control. It is one of those snowbally maps, particularly in the Slayer.
It's so important, yeah, bar control, as you say. I mean, to influence those spawns on one side of the map, so crucial. But not only that, Richie, if you sit on bar bridge, you can shoot all the way through tree, all the way through to your enemy's thrust if you're spawning them over there. So that's a really nice angle to hold, to not only do, you know, spawn blocking kind of subconsciously, but also damage across the map to help your team that is pushing and collapsing on those spawns. So yeah, I'm looking for bar control. Absolutely, it's a great point you make.
And then you talked about controlling the equipment, but also there's some other weapons on the map outside of the rockets as well. Of course, you have the Bulldog positioned down the bottom sewers, but also a weapon that we've seen be very, very strong is that Mangler.
Yeah, 2 Manglers on the map. I expect to see that featured fairly heavily here in the early stages of Halo Infinite. I know a lot of players feel like that's maybe a little bit too strong. Certainly 2 Manglers on the map, for my mind, is definitely too much at this point. But while it's on the map, I expect players to kind of focus their efforts on those type of weapons. Like you say, the Mangler, the Bulldog, which can help you, especially in those tight areas on the map. You have bar, you have tree, you have the closets as well, or the lockers, whatever your preferred call out for those locations are. Such tight quarters locations. So a Mangler, a Bulldog can instantly win you a fight in those types of situations.
That's something we're seeing on Slayer Bazaar, is the pacing isn't always as quick as you maybe have seen in other Slayers. It seems to be a lot slower. Teams are very aware that if they get 4 dead, it could spell an absolute disaster, because you get caught in a rotation, you get staggered spawns. So how big can it be just to, when you're aware that you're down a couple of men, just to stay alive? That could be almost paramount.
Oh, huge. And it's actually an interesting kind of philosophy, because I remember Blackjack coming in my stream the other day. I think it was after Rally, actually. And he was talking about Ascend, how they play so well on Strongholds, but need to play a little slower on Flag and Slayer. And his philosophy on Slayer is, to quote him exactly, actually, was, I think players are playing Slayer the wrong way. I don't think Slayer should end at 50. I think each Slayer should end at 26, 27 kills. Because if you're pushing too much, you should only be pushing pretty much for the power-ups and power weapons. So it'll be interesting to see that type of philosophy go up against Valkyrie, who we've said before has teamed with high-level players over when he was living in North America, with the likes of Taulek and Super CC, these kind of Money 8s players. We know how they like to play super fast, really fast-paced, momentum-style gameplay. It's kind of like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object here, so really excited to see how this one shakes out.
Well, we don't have to wait any longer. Game 2, Slayer Bazaar, is underway. Player taken down to no shields is going to be Zami. Immediately backs down. He throws some grenades, some defense grenades, just to deny that territory, deny that overshield. But one thing that Whysingleelim have scampered away with is those rockets. Yeah,
you can see there, I think it's Hybrid who grabbed the rockets. In fact, no, he tried grabbing the overshield, but forgot he had a thruster pack, so needed to be holding the action button there to pick up the new overshield. That's a really nice dynamo there, actually thrown into bar to deny the vision on that overshield. Buck 20 is able to scoop that one up, so a really successful start actually for Whysingleelim. They grab the rockets and they grab the overshield as well. And this is the position I was talking about, Richie. This bar bridge right here. Jersey 2 using this angle perfectly. Look at the sightlines he has all the way through to thruster pack. Absolutely vital position to hold, because you're blocking spawns, and as well, you can see through double doors as he's kind of exhibiting right here. He's calling out any flankers, so really well played by Jersey 2. And it's that position that I love all the time, that bar bridge.
He has control of the bar bridge. Now what he can do is help his teammates who are getting shot in the back. Hybrid does lose his life. Blackjack answers back though. That's going to be a 1-1 trade. We're seeing a little play here with that grapple hook over towards the sewer area. 8 kills to 4. Make that 8 kills to 5. As Zami picks up a lovely kill. I've been impressed with his movement.
Yeah, better here as well from Fantastic. They get 3 down, which means they get mid-map control. Now it's going to be about what they do with it. I'm not sure exactly why Zami is kind of allowing the space here. He should be working with his team to try and push forward, but look at the grapple coming through.
Oh,
decent trade, I think it was by Hybrid in the end there with the Mangler. Got to keep track of those weapons, but that's a strange position to be in with the grapple when you know Overshield's coming up in around 10 seconds. You've got to be in a position to grapple it away because, as I said before, you can grapple it from such a safer position. Now they have to fight in a, well, compromised position. They got the first kill, though, so I want to see them properly collapse mid-map. That's 2 down now for Whysingleelim. An Overshield in the hands of Blackjack, though, despite being down in slays and down in numbers on the map. It's Whysingleelim that come away with the power-up.
Whysingleelim sacrificed the numbers, but they do secure the Overshield, and though there's not much left in it now. It has decayed just a little bit. Only a couple of slivers, a couple of ticks left in it now. We're seeing teammates of Whysingleelim drop down towards this truck area, trying to escape the attentions of that player over towards that tree house. It's shot in the back. Blackjack's going to do enough there, but score all tied up 14-14.
Yeah, good job there from the mains. That's a nice double. And in fairness to Fantastic, that's the first lead of the game for them. They've turned this game around. Don't forget, at the start of the game, they were down by 5 or 6 kills. And they have map control right as the rocket's coming up. So this 1-kill lead, excuse me, a 2-kill lead now, could turn very well into 3, 4, or 5 thanks to these rockets if they're able to collapse on them efficiently. But 2 of them have gone down, and somehow Hybrid for Whysingleelim has made the play on the rockets, and now it goes into the red team's favor. A wonderful play there from Hybrid.
Back-to-back Overshields and back-to-back rockets going over towards Whysingleelim. But they still find themselves down by that 1 single kill. Questions have to be asked. If Fantastics had secured those weapons, how far out of the game would Whysingleelim be right now? 20-19 the score. Jersey 2 and Blackjack coming back off the respawn screen. We're seeing control of the map over towards Fantastic.
Yeah, and a big fight here coming up, Richie. 15 seconds until the next Overshield, so if you're Whysingleelim, you have to try and break into the map here. As you can see, they're trying to push tower side. Looks like one will come through double doors as well. You can see in the kill feed 2 trades, but looks like kills in the favor of Fantastic. That's a nice kill. Nice shots from Zami. That should enable his teammate to grab the Overshield. So good hold there from Zami. These shots are absolutely fantastic. And it looks like with a 3-point lead and Overshield in their favor as well, they can now start to collapse on some spawns and think about maybe trying to extend this 3-point lead.
Bulldog in the hand does a couple of barks. Zami does take down Buck 20. He's got some players a little bit weak below him, but unfortunately he's going to be faced with 2 members of Whysingleelim. Jersey 2 gets a kill, but we're seeing the mains do the job and do the damage on the other side of things just to level that up once more. 26 kills now to 23. And the position that we're seeing Whysingleelim time after time be positioned over towards is the sewers area. That's not ideal.
It's not ideal because you're in a very compromised position. You're down low. You have to overextend one way or the other. It's very predictable which way you're going to go, and some fantastic shots both from Jersey 2 and as well from Zami make the score 29-25, approaching the 30-point mark again. At that 6-minute mark, Richie, you see at the bottom of the screen, that's coming up fairly soon within the next minute. Rockets and Overshield come up at the same time, so absolutely paramount. You at least have mid-map control or the grapple control when it comes to that 6-minute mark, because you're able to grab those power items on the map with relative ease. So it's going to be interesting to see who sacrifices the kills and who goes for the map position here.
Blackjack desperately trying to stay alive there, but 2 dynamo grenades come in and they finish off the job. He was desperately trying to get his shields back, but every single time they were about to recharge, a little tick of damage came through. So he does lose his life in the end. It's unfortunate for him, but that 6-minute mark is vastly and very quickly approaching us here. We're going to see the Overshield and the rockets. It's going to be huge. 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, so important for Buck 20 there to stay alive, but that first kill is going to be the catalyst here for Fantastic to really capitalize on that. They're going to have numbers. Buck 20 is going to be late to the party, but looks like he's got a decent spawn actually. So you can see here, Valkyrie just has to try and play his life. A bit of a rough game for him, 2 and 10. But it looks like a 2v2 on the map. Blackjack has the Overshield. Can there be a play made by Teo? He takes the Overshield out, but not before going down himself. Now just a 1-point game. The question is, where did the rockets go? We have no idea. And it looks like the mains here happy to play things slow while he waits for some pushes to come through. Valkyrie with another kill will make that a 2-point game.
The kill feed is to be believed. Blackjack picked up the Overshield, and it was fantastic. And Nims, who had picked up the rocket launcher, and it looks as though Jersey 2 is starting to heat up here, hitting some lovely shots, but they're over towards this Sewers area once more. Valkyrie gonna receive some shot. Teo caught with his pants down. No idea that player was positioned behind him once more. Mangler in the hand of Hybrid as well. So he's been doing quite a lot of damage here. He's 8, 8, and 8 in the spread. He's putting in all the numbers. Bet responsibly.
Really unfortunate to go down there in Sewers. Did such a great collapse with his team there, Hybrid. Now for Blackjack. He's being collapsed by a couple of members from Fantastic. So just a 1-point game. So important at this stage of the game to keep your deaths to a minimum. On the Whysingleelim side, I'm seeing 13 deaths already from Buck20. So he needs to reel himself in a little bit here in the late game. Next overshield up in around 30 seconds time. So again, you're looking for mid-map control. It might not be a factor, but it could be a game winner for one of these two teams.
Love that from Valkyrie, just baiting that player to overextend in the treehouse when his teammate put in the damage, and it was enough to secure that kill. He now has Plasma Pistol and Mangler, not a combination we've seen too often, but we are going to see another overshield very, very shortly. 10 seconds, and something that Valkyrie has is the treehouse control. Blackjack and Buck20 are going to fall. That should mean another overshield goes the way of Fantastic. All the goodies are coming their way at the worst possible time. We're going to see another kill solidified as Hybrid falls once more. All the things are falling against Fantastics here, and if they don't play this right, we could see a game 3. Overshield starting to push towards the treehouse now. Buck20 positioned in the corner, not going to be able to do enough damage on that overshield player who gets that free kill. Up by 5, only needing 5.
Well done by Valkyrie there. Gives that 5-point cushion. Don't want to panic when you have overshield. You know you're up in the fight. So, oh no, he loses Blackjack in the lights there. Got a call from a teammate that there was someone above him, but couldn't quite find him. Is that the catalyst now for the comeback? Down by 3. You can't afford trades at this point if you're Whysingleelim. You have to slow the deaths down, and you have to make sure your team are getting clean wipes to get yourself back in this game. Here's the push from Treehouse. The mains takes down Buck20. Blackjack trades him off. But trades are no good at this point. If you're Whysingleelim, you have to get clean kills. Which way is this one going to go?
Valkyrie playing his life expertly there,
New
knowing
rockets,
how
Richie.
important these kills are going to be. We are going to see those new rockets. Again, though, Buck20 has died. The last 2 deaths have gone the way of Buck20. Unfortunately, he's having an almost triple negative game in a Slayer. 17 deaths, just too much, and Fantastics will make you pay when you're putting in those sorts of numbers. Game 2 heads towards Fantastic. We're heading towards Recharge Strongholds. What a game that was. What a bounce back.
Well, a very similar storyline that we saw in the first game. This time, no objective to save Whysingleelim's bacon. There was no objective there. The objective was the kills, and we saw in game 1, Fantastic outslaying them. Game 3, Strongholds now. Fantastic are going to be riding that wave. They know they can make their opponents pay. And I tell you what, slays on Strongholds, way more important, I would say, than plays on Flag. So if you're a betting man, I wouldn't be surprised to see Fantastic come through as we take a look at the stats. The big stat line, Richie, of course, is going to be Buck20 with those, I think it was 17 deaths by the end of the game. That is just nowhere near the pace you need to be setting at this level of competition.
You look at the other side, you see Valkyrie 6 and 12. He did have those 8 assists as well. It's just those 17 deaths. We always talk about how you get about 12 deaths per player in a game and you can still win it. But when you're putting up numbers of 17, you're eating into your other players' lives. You've lost by 4 there, and unfortunately, it's a game to forget for Buck20. Let's take a look at the damage and see, get a clearer picture of exactly what way it was going down, who was able to put in the numbers. And Spilly desperately tries to flick those sticks over towards damage. There we have it. He has gotten there in the end. Jersey 2 putting down 5k damage, matching that of the other team. But unfortunately, again, the tail of the tape, Buck20 just having one of those games to forget. Now it's time to bounce back on Recharge Strongholds.
Yeah, like you say, a game to forget. If you're dropping 17 deaths, we're expecting you to see either a big number in the damage dealt category to go with the damage taken, or a large amount of assists. But unfortunately, those two things were missing to justify Buck20's deaths. Slayer is a game about deaths. It's not so much about kills, Richie. I said it to you when we were playing the other week. Slayer is about deaths. It's not about kills. And unfortunately, if you're dropping 6 and 17, those are not winning numbers.
Yeah, now our attentions do turn towards Strongholds on Recharge. And something we've seen in the series already, and we've talked about it enough, is how good this team, this Fantastic team in particular, are at slaying. You talked about how important slaying is on Strongholds. Sometimes you're seeing teams just prioritize kills before trying to move for any sort of Stronghold. So is the advantage ever so slightly tipping towards them?
Absolutely. I would say so. I think you're expecting a better game out of Buck 20 coming out in game 3 here. The experience, again, those intangibles we talk about in these types of games in a bracket are absolutely invaluable when you have players that have been through the trenches in live events in years gone by. As I say, it's completely invaluable experience. So hopefully the nerves should be on the side of Whysingleelim. However, Fantastic played such a good game of Bizarre Slayer and have outslayed their opponents throughout this series. If they can use those kills to get control on the map, it could be a really, really tough time for Whysingleelim here in this game 3.
We're going to see Fantastic try and ride that momentum into game number 3. Strongholds on recharge, like we spoke about. Some of the things that are on the map that are going to be very, very useful, and something, there's almost a gentleman's agreement at times we're hearing from, Jimbo said it on stream, that the sword is so strong that a lot of players are deciding just not to pick it up. Yeah. That might be the case in matchmaking, but you really want to push home every single advantage you have here, Harry, and pick up that sword.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, gentleman agreements go only so far in scrims and in tournaments, but as you say, I don't expect that gentleman's agreement to be upholded here. The sword is so impactful on this map that you can essentially lock down one side of the map with it. If you hold it in control, if you hold it around that A stronghold, there's no player that can touch you. Doesn't matter if they have a mangler. The only counter to it is the repulsor, and guess where it spawns? It's right next to the bloody sword. So there is essentially no way for you to counter the sword on this map. So for me, that's going to be a key point that you bring up. If you can handle the sword, literally and figuratively, then you should be in a decent position in terms of slays on this map.
And we're hearing game sound. We're going straight into it. Jersey2 is going to be the first man to lose his life very, very quickly as well over towards that turbine area. 2 members down for Whysingleelim very, very early. And that's going to mean advantage is going to head towards Fantastics, with seeing Zami making that 3 dead momentarily. So numbers already going the way of Fantastics. Whysingleelim in a little bit of trouble, a little bit of a spot of bother.
Yeah, they have A control now, but wouldn't be surprised to see Fantastic here try and take A. This is a big fight to win. Valkyrie comes in with the assist and the camouflage as well. That's going to be a triple cap and decisions to be made now for Whysingleelim. They're trapped over at C. From here, you want to try and go for the sword. You want to try and get the repulsor. You need to fight into control at the same time. But the problem is, even if you get control of this tower area where Valkyrie's playing, he's taken down. If there's a player at gold, which is rightly being contested by Jersey2, you can't push over the top to A. So that was a really nice push, actually. Although Jersey doesn't win that fight, he's able to contest that player, allows his players to escape control, break into elevator, and as a result, we have Whysingleelim with A on the map. However, scoring still in the hands of Fantastic, and you have Zami here with the shock rifle.
Zami with the shock rifle is positioned over towards the bat ledge, is getting contested a little bit. Jersey2 is going to take him down, pushing back through those pipes, getting a little bit of revenge, it would seem. 52 points though, and we're seeing Fantastic still scoring all this time, putting points on the board. Need to maybe stop this bleeding if they can. Jersey2 tries to go for that no-scope. Misses 2 shots though. Valkyrie's going to put some pressure on him. A combination of 3 members of Fantastic. Jersey2 is going to fall. But A and C, they've got the per man setup, have Whysingleelim.
Yeah, if my maths are correct, I believe camouflage should be coming up in around 5 or so seconds time. So very important that you're controlling the map. Lovely win there from the mains on Buck 20. 2 kills going in favor of Fantastic just as the camouflage is up. I think Valkyrie grabbed that, but he's taken down before he's able to pop it. So that camouflage should still be up on the map bottom middle. We'll see the mains here go for it. He has grapple as well. Oh no, he can't quite get the grapple off, and Buck 20 wins the fight. You gotta make sure that yellow marker comes up on your crosshair before you try and grapple. The camo should go in favor of Whysingleelim. A big play there from Buck 20.
Very surprised to see Buck 20, whilst no shields almost, still taking every single fight that he could there when he had the camouflage in his back pocket. Will that come to bite them in the backside? With only time will tell. Damage going down. Valkyrie's going to lose his life this time to Buck 20. Strongholds will start to transition here. A again going by the way of Whysingleelim, but they just need to try and maybe control B. Or is this the setup that they're trying to go for? A and C?
Well, it's a good question. I think a lot of teams have different ideologies, excuse me, of how to control this map. A and C, let them spawn at B, or do you go for B and A and trap them at C? It's a really interesting decision to be made on the map. For now, though, we're seeing Fantastic with a decent lead, but it's them on the back foot now, them spawning at C. And this is a big fight to back down from here. If you're Hybrid, he knows his teammates are down. He has sword as well, Richie. Oh, this could be absolutely horrendous for anyone trying to push back A. Zami goes down. The mains gets the trade. That's a big trade, and that should be A going in favor of Fantastic.
Looked as though the sword was just out of energy as well, so no more potential to do damage there. A big stick comes through from the mains there to take back Blackjack just to make sure they keep a numbers advantage here. Teo getting a little bit of pressure put on him here. They're starting to hit A once again. It's going to be a triple kappa only momentarily as C does transition over once more. We're seeing Fantastic scramble really, really well.
Yeah, we'll see what Blackjack can do here from the long haul spawns. One of the spawns you want to try and avoid. I believe Camouflage coming up soon too, so wouldn't be surprised to see him push this guy at gold, try and get this kill, and then hang around by the blue crate area. Camouflage is officially up, so we'll see which player goes for it. I think that is actually Jersey 2 with Camo. He's having a bit of a slow game. 2-9 right now. Hopefully this should be the catalyst for him to get those slays back in order. We know what a strong slayer he can be, but well, that's a bit of a whiff with the Camouflage, and that's not going to help your team. Hopefully we can see better plays from Jersey 2 going forward, but right now Fantastic are playing this, or dare I say fantastically. A massive point lead, approaching 100 points in their favor. And, well, Whysingleelim are seeing this winners round 4, game 3, a deciding game 3, might I add, slip away.
You can see what Jersey 2 wanted to do with that Camouflage. Perhaps get his hands on the Mangler with the camo could be such a huge combination. Huge shots go down. Jersey 2 does turn that one into a double kill. That's exactly what he's going to need to turn this game around for him. You can have no slow burners in the game of a stronghold. You need to really hit the 4. We're seeing another kill go through. Only 2 members left alive for Fantastic, and strongholds now in favor of the boys on Whysingleelim. And we're seeing a combat evolved here from Jersey 2 as well. Little throwback to Halo 1.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff there. You don't want to be jumping down to that platform because you're so exposed. And this is decent. If they can capture B, which is currently being contested, it means Jersey 2 can sit here with the sword, and he could get 2 here. There's the first. He's lost the second momentarily. But now he knows Valkyrie's going to be playing for that repulsor. So important for Jersey 2 here. Don't jump down. You don't want to get pushed off the map here by that repulsor. And he's very susceptible to it right now. And well, I think he might just get taken down by these 2 players pushing C. All the while they were having total control, but there's C captured back. It's important to get some trades here though, if you are Whysingleelim, to maintain control on the map.
Questions have to be asked. Does he maybe move that sword over towards A much easier place to defend when you have got that energy sword? But unfortunately now, he has donated that over towards Fantastic. We're going to see Camo now be picked up very shortly. Teo's gotten a kill onto Buck 20 once more. Hybrid levels the score. Jersey 2 also picks up 1. So 2 members down. Camouflage still down bottom middle. Jersey 2 tries to retrieve it. Unfortunately, he's going to lose his life to Zami. It's down there bottom middle. Still hasn't been burned.
Yeah, good contesting there from Zami, but this plays into the hands of Whysingleelim because they're scoring this entire time. Only down by 40 points. So they've managed to claw 60 of those 100 points that they were down by back into their favor. And they're actually trying to grab C as well from behind them. Good kill by Zami, but it comes after the stronghold is captured. They are capturing A as well, so... Well, they're actually capturing all 3. If they can get this control onto B, it would be total control flipped. But that's a better passage of play from Whysingleelim. Fantastic, with Zami last alive here. Has a lot of work to do. Brilliant pre-nade, but Zami's able to win the fight. That was so close, but well controlled in the end.
Pressure does come through in the end. A is going to transition very quickly back over. Can they defend B now? Fantastic. Just to keep the pressure onto Whysingleelim. They have changed to turn the tides there once more. B is going to start to transition and over towards the control of Fantastic, while Jersey 2 is in the respawn screen waiting to rejoin his teammates. Hybrid's also going to join him down there. And A is going to transition once more, while B and C transitions back over the other way. It's back and forth. It's like a flip-flop.
Really is. A and B in control of Fantastic now, and this is a pretty standard setup. You want to try and spawn them over in this area because Long Haul is kind of a dead area of the map. You want them spawning there because it forces the enemy into a decision. Which way do you go? Nice shots from Buck 20 to take down Valkyrie. And when you look at the slays, it's pretty even. Fantastic just edging them out slightly. And that's been the tale of this entire series. We'll see, though, if Whysingleelim can get their feet back under them. Lovely flank from Zami, getting the back smack as well. He's taken down. So Trade's coming in here. And Camo's coming up too. So if Jersey 2 can get another bite of the cherry with this camouflage, if he plays it better than he played the first, then Whysingleelim can get right back into this game.
Is this the redemption story now for Jersey 2 with the camouflage in hand, sneaking up on this player, gets that kill, secures it for his team. Unfortunately though, Buck 20 has lost his life on the other side of things. We're going to see a trade in strongholds once more. Shots go down onto the mains over towards that blue box, and he's putting down serious damage onto Theo as well. Big numbers going down, but he's going to lose B, and they haven't started C just yet, so scoring will be over towards Fantastics.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Great damage there from Jersey 2, but you don't want your camouflage player being the damage dealer. You need people to put damage down to allow the camouflage player to move freely around the map, and we're approaching, Richie, that 250 to win mark here. 2:13. The timer is stopped as there's contesting across the map, but the problem here is that you have Zami with this sword over at A. This is going to make this area of the map so dangerous to push. If you are Whysingleelim, they need to be perfect on this push, and Zami, all he needs to do is just hold this area. Call the push from Whysingleelim, which is exactly what he's doing. And this could be it, Richie. 20 points to win if you're Fantastic. The Slay's going in their favor as well. Oh, I say that. There's trades coming in. Here's the sword. There's one. Valkyrie picks up the second. Control for now in the favor of Fantastic, but by my estimations, there's one push left to go here from Whysingleelim.
Only have one more push, and from then on out, it has to be perfect Halo. And the mains, though, takes down Blackjack, and it's desperation on the sides of Whysingleelim, throwing bodies on the line, but it's not going to be enough as they're trying to stop the scoring here. B is going to start the transition, as is A. We might see a little sign of life here, but no.
Wow.
Again, we're seeing Zami shut that down, get the reset once more, and C is starting to transition. It's desperation times. 2 members down for Whysingleelim. Have they got anything left in the tank?
Great job by Jersey 2 putting his body on the line, but I think C is going to flip. And with this sword as well, spells danger. He needs to get in the stronghold
Has to
now,
get in the hill.
Blackjack, but there you go. Fantastic. C out game 3 and advance to winners round 5. What a series to kick off our coverage of the HCS Open series. Wonderful game and a game 3 to boot.
You get a game 3 to start us off in 2022. What a performance from both those teams, but a real surprise package in the likes of Valkyrie putting up serious numbers for his team. And the sword, we talked about it, it was so pivotal in that game.
Yeah, it really is. And we said before, you know, gentlemen's agreements only matter between gentlemen. It doesn't matter, you know, this is a tournament right here. You're going to use whatever is on the map until the HCS takes it out. So we saw it from Hybrid. He picked up the sword. I'm pretty sure we saw Jersey 2 with the sword. Valkyrie had the sword. So we said it before the game. Sword controls A, and we saw that so often. If the opponents have sword at A, you can't push that area of the map. You're forced over towards B. But what a great series by Fantastic. Confirmation of your scores. A 2-1 win to advance into winners 5. Valkyrie making the move over to Germany from NA. I said he was one of the top AMs, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this squad progress because wow, they were in some fine shape there, taking out some of the established veterans here in the winners bracket from European Halo.
The experience does bow down to the losers' side. We're going to see Fantastics progress to the next stage, and it'll be interesting to see, and we'll keep an eye on them and see just how they do progress throughout the bracket, and perhaps we may see a rematch further down the line. What a performance that was from them. They're going to push themselves on. We're going to take a short break as we get the next series all lined up. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. Welcome back to our coverage of the Open Series HCS. Of course, I'm Jersey 1, joined by the lovely Wonder Boy. We're going into best of 5s now in our winners round 5. The winner of this series does make top 8, Harry, and we've got some more experience for the Fantastic Boys to get through.
Absolutely. This is the type of match that we've been waiting for, what these players have been playing towards in this tournament. The top 8 from today's tournament go into the Pro Series on Wednesday. So you win this series and you're in. We're still in winners, so even if you don't win it, you still get another bite of the cherry in the losers bracket as well. But you're right, more experience to go through some names from the Swedish scene that we're aware of from different games as well. We have Left Eye coming in from Fortnite. You have Legend Graham. You have MC versus Arbiter. So it should be a really fun game to kick things off here, Richie. To kick off the first of our qualifier games, because again, if you win this, you're in the Pro Series on Wednesday.
Speaking of kicking it off, let's take a look at the bracket and see exactly what sort of game types we'll be looking at, what we'll be sinking our teeth into. We know game one is going to be Aquarius CTF. We've already seen Fantastics play that one, Harry. Game one, they did lose it to the team Whysingleelim. So is there some holes in the armor there already?
Yeah, maybe, because we saw them overslay to a point, didn't we? And I think they'll have a better time of it here, because in these types of winners round fives, it's a best of five, so you want to stamp your authority on this game type early on this series early on. So if you overslay your opponent, you really get them a little bit downtrodden by completely dominating them in this first game. I don't think that's the worst tactic. In a best of three, sometimes it can come back to bite you, but obviously setting the pace early in these longer series is very important. Their mains with 2 already means that Fantastic should have control here early on Aquarius CTF, and I'm interested to see where the camouflage has gone here on the map.
See if we can locate that camouflage player, or has it been burned? Plenty of players have fallen by the wayside already. There is the camouflage. We're seeing it in the chest of Legend Graham as he and his team do start and try and make this push on the enemy base. Zami, no, he's positioned himself back base. He's going to lose his life. We're going to see a flag pull and pushed out on the move. And like this from the camouflage player, he's going to play a little bit more of an anchored position.
Yeah, no need to go for the flag there if you're camouflaged. You have a teammate there. So let them run the flag, and that is Sandal who's moving the flag. So Zami here from Fantastic has to try and move forward and try and stop the flag. He's got good damage down, but only gets a trade. So the question is, who's there to try and touch that flag from both sides? High-Stakes, they need to try and get a touch on this. It is being returned. Good contest and a beatdown and a touch there as well. So well done by Legend Graham. Keeps that flag alive. And now it's about where are your teammates? Where are the kills coming from? 2 versus 2 on the map. You have Tio top middle in a great position, but he needs to drop off that. He's getting kills and contesting the flag. Did not get a touch though. So that could mean that High-Stakes can maybe get a touch and return that flag themselves. The mains comes in with the hero play to get the touch eventually. But this one, Richie, is looking like the first flag capture is going to go in for High-Stakes if they can get that return.
I feared the worst momentarily for them. Looked as though they were putting too much desperation on the side of that closet, trying to get that touch. But Legend Graham, how pivotal and important that one touch and that slay that he got on that player, solidifying flag number 1. They take the lead. High-Stakes are up 1-0.
They're up 1-0 and have a decent amount of map control as well for Camouflage, which is just up on the map. Not sure which way it's gone. Someone, I believe, from High-Stakes has it, so that's going to allow them to be pretty sneaky on the map. It might be Sandal even who's in the front base, but we'll stick on board with Legend Graham for now, who tries taking down the mains. He gets taken down himself. So Tio now has to try and find this player somewhere. There's NC versus Arbiter, and well, a double for Arbiter means that his team can now start to run the flag, but a bit of a fumble there, I think, from Sandal. Didn't get the touch. That flag run now cannot happen. They have to recycle themselves. As a result, Sandal will go down. Map control completely resets, and Valkyrie here looking for the thruster pack. His assist comes through, and well, what a costly fumble that could be from Sandal.
How important one little fumble can be, just turning your push into a disastrous, calamitous play. We're seeing 2 members go down momentarily for each team. Valkyrie and Arbiter are just watching from the respawn screen. Numbers advantage now ever so slightly towards High-Stakes. Flag still in their advantage. They still got that 1-0 lead. We're seeing Legend Graham picking up those sizzle sticks, making sure that he has as much advantage as he possibly can as he scavenges for all the goodies on the map. Attention's turned towards his own flag here, though, playing a little bit of defense. Arbiter's going to get that kill onto Valkyrie. No harm, no foul there. Trying to put down a couple of shots. Will relay that information over towards his team, but they're positioned towards Fridge side, and we can see now Fantastic's going to look to play a little bit more defensive here as they try and stop this push.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Richie, how we have every member of High-Stakes positive, so that means they're outslaying Fantastic by quite a considerable margin at this point. Tio with the trade. Excuse me, the mains trading off Tio's death there. So it's a contrast from what we saw in the first series of the stream against Whysingleelim. It seemed as if Fantastic seemed the stronger of the slaying teams throughout this competition, but it looks like Highstakes are coming through and stamping their authority on this game type early on. Camouflage has just appeared, I believe. I'm not sure which way that one's gone. Wouldn't be surprised to see it in Fantastic's favor, as all of them are alive right now. Highstakes have to recover from this 2 dead situation.
I wonder how much Highstakes were watching game 1 of that last series, just to say, right, this team likes to slay. Let's make sure that we put them on the back foot from the get-go. And that's exactly what they've done here. It was not a counter cap. It was not experience that won the day, that first flag cap. They made sure that they had all the positions and all the ingredients they needed. As Zami, lovely place grenade, spins up to the visor and puts that couple of shots in to make him weak and get just to solidify that kill. Down towards that closet area. Left eye is going to clear that out. Great play from him. So he now transitions and moves his way over towards those dynamo grenades. Does throw one. Does a little bit of damage, but not going to be enough. But little Sandel, he's on hand to make sure that he puts that kill in the books. Now we're seeing a push come through. Valkyrie, the only man left alive, or the only man down, excuse me, for Fantastics. But we're seeing the aggression again coming by the way of Highstakes. They have this control of closet once more.
They certainly do. It's a staple of Aquarius CTF as we see the meta slowly evolve. Only 2 months into Halo Infinite now, but teams have figured out this closet side of the map has the most cover for running those flags. So important, you not only defend your own closet, but also attack the enemies, which is why we're seeing so many fights happen on this left-hand side of the map here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Tio, who we're watching right now, start to transition towards that area fairly shortly as they try and move in and collapse on the base. Big round of slays here for Fantastic. If they can get them, they get the first trade. If they can get the second, they can start to move in on the flag themselves. But Highstakes doing a good job so far staying alive. Big fight for Graham to win. He does not win it. And now the flag can start to be moved.
We're seeing a little bit of a fumble again. We've already seen that be a bit of a disaster. That's going to be open the door just a touch for Lil Sandel to get a little bit of a stop there. Valkyrie's going to get the kill onto Arbor. That will make sure this push makes it over the halfway point. But we're seeing Heatwave behind enemy lines. Does a little bit of cooking. And unfortunately, that push is going to be stopped in its tracks. 2 members now positioned over towards Fridge for Fantastic. They've gotten 2 slays as well here, Harry. They could level up this game.
Yeah, I think someone there on the Highstakes side was overextending through closet, forcing those Fridge spawns. So really unfortunate. It's those micro decisions you make on the map to overextend. You don't realize you're blocking those spawns and forcing them closer towards that flag. There you go, we're all tied up. Camouflage was up around 45 seconds ago. Look at these shots from the mains, by the way. He's starting to heat up a little bit. On the other side, Sandal is 17-9. Let's see what he can do here as he gets an assist on Zami.
Sandal playing very, very well. Between the eyes and ears of him now, what can he do? Push his team back into the lead. Unfortunately, the commentator's curse is the eyes were on him and he has lost his life. 3, make that 2 members down for Highstakes momentarily. They've stopped that push, have Fantastics for the moment at least. Pressure coming through here, and Graham's going to also lose his life. So now we might even see map control shift back towards Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good scrap this, isn't it? A really good scrap. You have 2 players from Highstakes, both Sandal and MC versus Arbiter, dropping 17 so far. Both of their 2 teammates they're currently dropping single-digit kills. So if you can get those 2 a bit more involved in terms of fights on the map, you can certainly see yourself having better supremacy on the map. Camouflage in 10 seconds, by the way. So important that MC versus Arbiter pushes forward here, stops the pressure coming in from closet side, so his teammates, hopefully back at top middle, are ready to grab that camouflage. But it's a 4-man push here on the base, actually. They have no one top mid. Will this work out for them? I mean, MC Arbiter is the last alive here, so what is this play coming through for Highstakes? He does not get a touch either. All 4 alive for Fantastic. Why didn't Highstakes just wait for the camouflage? That is so curious.
We will have to look back at this as that cap that got away. All the ingredients were there for them. Slay on the way back, pick up the camouflage as well. But somehow, Fantastics, the initiative has been handed straight back to them. We're going to see Thruster Pack picked up as well by Valkyrie. And all of a sudden, they're on the back foot, our Highstakes. Flag pulled now out towards the closet area as well. I like this from him, playing a little bit more aggressive. Throws that flag over towards his teammate while also keeping control of the enemy base. Sandel does pick up Zami, which will make this push a little bit more difficult. That flag is still out. And all the while, it's going to make the likes of Highstakes scramble.
Yeah, look for the kill feed here. If you kill Arbiter, this should be a flag capture. And there's that kill. The
Oh,
flag should be on the move.
Just went home.
No,
Was it just,
no, it's
oh,
still
he got
on
a
the
touch.
move. Still on the move here, Richie. And again, you kill Arbiter there, although the overextenders are getting kills somehow. Left Eye with a big performance there, takes down the main. So Valkyrie last alive on top middle. I think that flag's being returned. And now a counter's being run here as well. Sandal's taken down, but Left Eye's there to continue the run. So what should have been a flag capture for Fantastic, you got the kill on Arbiter. It could actually turn into a counter here, although kills going in favor of Fantastic, and there's a fumble here as well from Left Eye. Where are his spawners? Where's the help? There are the kills for Fantastic, and the return should come in. This is back and forth.
EU flag runs, Keck W. What we've seen is Highstakes should have had a flag cap. Fantastics then should have had a flag cap after a fumble. And again, Highstakes, they don't want to cap flags right now. They're going to fumble it once more. And we're going to still see we're 1-1 here. 2 minutes left in the clock. This game should be 4-3 at this point.
Yeah, 2 minute mark. You said it yourself, Richie. Means new camouflage every 2 minutes. So who will win out that fight? Graham takes down Valkyrie and the mains as well. So double for him. Camouflage still up. You can see Zami trying to bait it from his own base. But it's MC versus Arbiter. The man 21 and 15 with 12 assists so far with the camouflage here for Highstakes. So keep an eye on that kill feed. If MC versus Arbiter goes down, should be a decent result for Fantastic. But so far, looks like the assault is going to come in here from Highstakes.
Highstakes heavily outslaying Fantastic at the moment. Arbiter and Sandel alone have nearly 50 kills combined. But still, somehow, they find themselves level in the game. Slays have come through. They've had all the ingredients they needed to get a flag cap, but every single time, whether it be one little mistake, a fumble, not clearing out the overextender, not picking up the camouflage when you need to. All of these things come back to bite you, and that's what we're seeing. Flag has been pulled here momentarily by Zami. What a disaster it would be if Fantastic somehow managed to clutch up this win.
Dude, what a fantastic play from Sandel, by the way, to stop that flag run. He's finally going down, and this flag could continue to move here for Fantastic, but he was last alive against 2 players. One of them was Valkyrie, and I believe the other one was Zami, and he managed to milk his life and do some damage and even get a kill in the end. So this flag run is really difficult here for Fantastic to make happen. They need kills, not trades. Sandal with a double, and this return is actually going to be really difficult because he has 2 players to contend with here. 20 seconds left in regulation. He gets the nade kill, but also you have to worry about that camouflage. 15 seconds till it comes up if the game goes to sudden death, that is. 10 seconds to go. Where's the push going to come in?
These teams are really fighting for every single inch on the map. And we're seeing Closet again. Engagement goes down. Sandal loses his life, as does the mains. They're trading back and forth. We're going to see overtime. These 2 teams giving it their all. They're making mistakes. But one thing you can't say is they're not evenly matched.
Evenly matched indeed. The Slays reset on the scoreboard, but one thing I noted was that Highstakes were outslaying Fantastic by a large margin. They're going to have to continue that here in the 5-minute overtime. Of course, camouflage up on the map as well. Honestly, it looks like Zami's the only one on the top of the map right now, so he could easily grab that camouflage without anyone even seeing. But needs to worry about this player behind him as well. Big fight to win. If he loses that, the flag continues to move forward, but he wins the fight and now just has to worry about the players behind him.
Really impressed by Zami. His shots on point. Arbiter tried to give him the wiggles, and he was not to be moved. A couple of kills go down either side, though. Teo and Zami have hit the respawn screen, but also Sandel and Graham have joined them, watching their friends getting involved mid-map, trying to just jostle for position here. Get control of this closet area. Can they do so? A few shots and Valkyrie's back from a teammate. It's going to do enough damage as that nade spins in through the closet and takes him out.
Yeah, Graham last alive though for Highstakes. He manages to get himself a kill to force a 1v1, and that will actually be momentary numbers on the map here for Highstakes. Speaking of Highstakes, this is a Highstakes match. You win this and you're in the Pro Series on Wednesday. So this best of 5 is huge, especially, Richie, when you consider after the winter break, after HCS Raleigh, the pro points have decayed by 90%. So this is a great way to gain some ground on players who might have had a bit of a head start on you in the pro points category. New camo in 25. You want to try and stay up top for that, but Valkyrie with a big double kill will actually push the players back. Zami takes down Graham, and this is huge map control and a potential for a flag run here from Fantastic.
Fortunately, Left Eye plays some great defense back base. That's going to stop this push after the great damage that Valkyrie had put down, getting that double kill. Flag is going to be on the move, though, and the mains just plays his life here at touch while grenades do enter towards bottom closet. Zami using that commando to the best of his ability, and Teo also picking up a kill. This could be a flag cap. It's already gotten back towards the closet. 2 members still down for a high stakes. Is there an overextender? There is someone around back flag. It's going to be Sandel once more. Can he do enough? No! He puts some shots down, whiffs the melee. Flag goes in. And Fantastics go up in game 1.
Way to clutch up in OT. Fantastic. Had to deal with that player. It was Sandal behind them. Great awareness of where each player was on the map. They knew there was an overextender to deal with. They said, hey, there's one we have to find yet, lads. They found him, and boy, did they make the play in overtime. Hate to say it, but an OT goose there from MC versus Arbiter. No kills and 5 deaths. That's an unfortunate overtime start for him, but wow, fantastic. They iced up in game 1.
It's interesting as well, right? Because in game 1, MC versus Arbiter, he had 20, nearly 30 kills at one point. So he was slaying really massively. And then into the overtime, he can't buy a kill, it would seem. Little Sandel, Harry, he looked to be in the right place at the right time. He pushed forward to try and get that stop. But unfortunately, he whiffed the melee. The player knew this melee was coming. He backed off just a touch, enough to get out of that range. And he makes sure he's able to solidify that cap. Huge win there for them.
Yeah, went for a bit of a hero play, in my opinion. Yeah, sure, you kill that flag guy. I mean, after you kill him, what happens? He's definitely going to make you weak, so his teammate's just going to trade you off. If I'm Sandal there, I go for the flag toss. Get it out the base. Make it difficult. Allow your spawners to try and make a play instead of trying to be the hero. But again, it's easy for us to say that sitting here in cold blood, Richie. These guys are the men and women on the sticks. So, they made the decisions that they thought was best in the moment. But yeah, a bit of a curious one there from Sandel. They've got to shake it off now and go into game 2.
Is that one of those situations where he's maybe thinking in the back of his head, if I get this kill and I can also then move the flag out myself, I can maybe get the cap, and he's almost putting all his chips in the middle and hoping that his cards come good. But unfortunately, high stakes, they ended up buckling under the pressure and they do find themselves down by a game. But what we do have, Harry, is a best of 5. So there's still plenty of games left to go. And game 2 is going to be Slayer on Streets. We've seen your tips. We've seen your tricks. But what are the keys to success here now, particularly for the team High Stakes to get themselves back in the series?
Well, like any Slayer game type, you want to be forcing the enemy team into the most vulnerable spawns on the map. That, of course, is Cafe. That is, of course, in PD to an extent as well, because there's so few options to escape from that spawn area. That's what I'm going to be looking for here between these two teams. Who can influence those spawns as well as control those power weapons? Be interesting to see if any combat evolves come out. I know that's one of my favorite parts of Streets is when the rockets come up. If you have the plasma grenades from Arcade, as some of you may have seen from my tips videos, you can easily grab the rockets from such a safe area on the map. So that's another thing I'll be looking for, players that are kind of versed in that type of gameplay. But ultimately, it's about keeping the B side of the map because it's elevated. You always want to maintain height in Halo because it gives you such an advantage in fights, and it makes it difficult for the enemies to push up and try and take you down. For example, going up B stairs, we know how congested that area is. Pushing around from C into red, that's just a nade magnet. We've all seen it from the start of Streets games. If you're trying to push around to that thruster pack, you get nuked on the map. So if you can control the B side of the map and force those spawns over at Cafe, P Street, where the enemies really don't have any option other than to go one way or another, then it can really help extend your lead into an unsurmountable one come the end of the game.
Something as well that we're seeing players use a lot more now of is particularly the drop shield has been used quite a lot. Over towards that tower side, we're seeing players drop it and just use it as a little bit of extra cover for any player trying to push Neon. I wonder if players will start to utilize that because that has been very, very strong. There is confirmation of the game types and indeed the bracket layout. We're seeing Slayer on Streets is going to be game 2. Recharge Strongholds game 3. And Live Fire, Oddball, Bizarre, Team Slayer if it gets to it and if we need them. But if you are High Stakes, you find yourself down by a game, but fantastic. They've got one foot in the door of top 8. They just need to maintain this momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. A reminder, you win this series, you're into the top 8, and you qualify for Wednesday's Pro Series. A big, big series for both of these teams here. And a big game type here too, because if you're fantastic and you win this game, then hey, you have 1 foot in the door. You have 1 foot in the Pro Series on Wednesday. You're up 2-0 in a best of 5. Such a great position to be in. But obviously for High Stakes, it's one that they will feel they have to win. You don't want to be going down 2-0 in this series. You want to be evening this up, and it looks like High Stakes with the rocket control early on and a 1-point lead. We'll see where they try and influence the spawns hit.
Winners game 5. Game number 2. What way is it going to shake out? Arbiter's already got the ingredients that he needs. Rocket launcher in his hand. Getting a little bit of resistance over towards that arcade. Shoots a flare just to back him down. Not going to get enough damage on that rocket to pick up the kill, or even a splash damage to help his teammate secure it himself. Does get that kill over towards B stairs though. That's going to open up the map for him and his team. Teo's positioned over towards that shotgun area. They have got map control, but 5-5 the score after the open engagements, and the Rockets in high stakes control. So Fantastic have hung in there despite the fact they didn't have weapons.
Yeah, nice fight there to win, but if I was MC versus Arbiter, I have the Stalker rifle on B balcony, and I know they're on P Street with 2 dead. I'm looking to try and trap them there. I try and stop them pushing into Tram, because that's the foothold that allows Fantastic to contest this B side of the map. Right now, MC versus Arbiter in a kind of terrible position, I'll be honest. You don't want to be here on P Street for long because you're so vulnerable. Manages to escape with his life for now, and in fact, Sandal picks up the first kill in the team fight. So that should allow High Stakes a bit more breathing room on the map, but with Rockets coming up in 20 seconds, you want to see tires control, you want to see mid-map control from both of these teams. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this slow down, all 4 players from both teams come up on the map, and then see the team fight come in, and here it comes.
High Stakes then pushing from the arcade side. They do get 2 kills as well. Rockets are going to be contested very shortly. Valkyrie is the last man alive. This should mean Rockets do transition over towards High Stakes. And do they need them? 15 kills to 13. They need to press home this advantage, but somehow, some way, 3 kills to flip back the other side. And all of a sudden, they're right back in this game, 15-17. Rockets, though, with little Sandel.
Wow, Valkyrie, you animal. Last alive, you mentioned it, Richie. Stays alive on P Street with the Bulldog. Contests the Rockets. Sure, he allows Sandal to get them, but actually flips the map entirely for his team. He's able to get a couple of kills, and that makes the Rockets so much less impactful because, yeah, sure, you have High Stakes now with a 6-point lead, but that allows his teammates to come up and try and contest the Rockets. So you can see now all 4 of Fantastic spawning in Tram. This is a good position to be in if you're High Stakes. And I actually kind of like this movement here from Sandel. You want to contest the balcony guy to stop him shooting over towards B, but it looks like Teo with the first kill and the second over towards B means that now it's actually going to be B control in terms of Fantastic, and Valkyrie wins the fight to boot as well. Now only down by 2, 3 dead, Left Eye last alive, and he's spawning all his team in Tram as well. This is perfect. What a brilliant flip there from Fantastic.
A complete flip of the spawns. Fantastic had C control. They spawned up there. They make a really successful push up towards arcade, and now we're seeing damage go down. And they're looking to take the fight back down this way as well. They're not waiting for them to come to them. They're going to push the envelope. They're going to press the matter. They're going to be aggressive.
Goodness gracious.
The shots I'm seeing from these players are so impressive. The damage that they're able to do for one another. The bait and switch. Looks like they've been playing Halo for years.
Yeah, another rocket launcher coming on the map as well, Richie. So time to maybe slow things down if you're both teams want to try and contest mid-map, and my preference is to fight from the tires side for these Rockets. Again, you have height there, although you have a bit of a compromised angle. 2 kills right as Rockets are coming up here for Fantastic as well. Big fight to take and win if your Valkyrie does not do so. Double from Arbiter as well. No doubt securing the Rockets for his team as well. I thought Fantastic did very well in timing their slays. Arbiter gets turned on. Well, Legend Graham goes down too, and those Rockets actually turned over now to Nemains. Bulldog being pinged by Nemains as well, so now a 2-point lead. What the hell went wrong there for High Stakes?
They're handing the initiative straight back to Fantastic. Rocket launcher in the hands now of Nemains, like Harry spoke about. Only 1 rocket in the chamber though, so he doesn't get the splash damage there. Just hits the lip of that flower pot, unfortunately.
4 dead.
Wasn't able to get the kill, but it didn't really matter in the end. 4 dead, like Harry says. All the ingredients in their favor now. A 6-kill advantage to boot. with the team spawning towards Tram.
Yeah, look at this. Didn't even want them spawning Cafe either. He wanted to force them spawning Tram so the collapse can come in. 3 players pushing out the thrust side. If I'm the mains, I'll maybe get a bit of a boogie on here to get the backstab. Here he goes. There should be the first one, no problem. Second one goes down as well. So Sandal now last alive in Tram. What can he do? Gets the first shot in the fight, but excellent use of thrust and the rechal as well. The mains, you absolute animal.
Yep.
Takes him down. Deserved body disrespect as well. 16 and 7 by Zami, by the way. He's on a tear this game. But, well, those are types of fights you have to win. 9-point advantage, 10, make it 9 kills to go. The main's on fire. This game's in the books.
The mains can't be stopped, won't be stopped. The damage he's putting down, he's hitting every single shot. Somebody put this man in the grave, for the love of God.
What?
These people have families. Finally, he gets taken down. But when you see your teammates losing gunfights consistently, time after time, it really puts the muckers on you, and your tail goes down. Unfortunately, though, Arbiter does get that kill. They're still down by 8 kills, but they've got it all to do. Bulldog in the hand of Valkyrie, getting shot in the back here. Will he lose his life? No, he's going to survive, but only for a little while. His left eye is on hand. Put him in the grave.
Sliver of hope here for Highstakes is that they were able to get slays and map control right as the rockets were coming up. But the problem is trades are coming through for Fantastic. And as I've said before, that is not what you need if you're Highstakes. If you're down in a Slayer game, trades are no good for you. 3 points to go now. Teo needs to try and find some of the enemies. There's a rocket, doesn't get a kill. Those are not types of results you want from Highstakes. 2 players playing mid-map as well. Only 3 points to go. There's the first from Valkyrie. 2 to go now. Here's the second. Where's the last one? Is Valkyrie going to finish strong with a triple? He most certainly will. And that is game 2 in the record books for Fantastic.
Unbelievable display out of Fantastic. Every single player seemed to be hitting their shots. The mains went off. Let's take a look at the stats to see exactly what way it shook out. The mains was hitting the shots. Teo as well put down some serious numbers. I think I've seen 17 kills and only 12 deaths. Very, very impressive performances. Talk to me about something here, Harry, to make it all make sense. Arbiter had the rockets at times. They had all the things that they needed, but time after time, Fantastic flipped the tide.
Yeah, it's difficult really to pinpoint an area of weakness from Highstakes. It was just Fantastic winning their pivotal 1v1s. We saw the tear from the mains really come through. The damage from him as well was off the charts. Just a fantastic display of individual brilliance towards the late game. Those key areas of the game where you can really start to pull away from your opponents. That's when you need to heat up, and boy did the mains just... I mean, he just did that. It was just an unreal spree that we saw him go on. One of the most impactful individual performances in that one life alone that I've seen for quite some time from the mains. He, in my opinion, I don't want to say individually won his team that game, because of course we had fantastic performances across the board. But that one life is the catalyst to map control there from Fantastic. It frees up his teammates. He's winning 1v1s across the board. Doesn't matter if it was Commando, if it was BR and Thrust. It was just absolutely unreal.
Well, the game was within 1 or 2 kills, Harry, right? And then we've seen the mains have that hellacious run, and all of a sudden they're winning by 5-6 kills, and that's all because he was able to keep himself alive and consistently putting down damage on those players as well, which is something that we didn't really speak of. But now we look towards recharge strongholds. Highstakes have to bounce back here, but they have been good on strongholds in the past.
They have. I won't lie, I haven't seen too much of their strongholds gameplay, but we saw from Fantastic the way that they played this game type in our first game of the stream. If you missed it, they played up against Whysingleelim, the likes of Blackjack, Buck20, Jersey 2 and Hybrid, and completely outclassed them on the map with their rotations. So looking forward to see how they handle the likes of their opponents here, Highstakes, because if the first series is anything to go by, Fantastic, I mean, we should be seeing them in the Pro Series on Wednesday. They are 1 game away. They have 3 series points to convert in order to make it into Wednesday's Pro Series.
And on the flip side of that, Highstakes, although their backs are against the ropes here, they need to essentially reverse sweep Fantastic here all hope is not lost if they do lose this next game. They do drop down to the loser side and they can make a run towards Wednesday's cup. But you want to do it here and now. You want to make sure that you don't have to play any more games. Don't leave it up to chance. But you have to stop the bleeding here. The problem is, Fantastic are winning all of their pivotal 1v1s. Players are performing at the top of their game.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The top of their game, every single one of them is just individually so good. I'm looking forward to seeing if they make it that far, which I'll be honest, no doubt they will at this point. I mean, they still have the losers bracket run to try and navigate through as well, should they not close it out in these next 3 games. But also, I'm just looking forward to seeing how they handle the Pro Series gameplay on Wednesday, because that's a step up in competition, right? We have the top 8 Pro Points teams already. We mentioned it before, the likes of Ascend, who are the best team in Europe. It doesn't matter rally placements because, you know, brackets and opponents, all this, all that. They're the best team in Europe. They haven't lost in almost a year now, I think, in online competition. You have the likes of Na'Vi, who placed top 8 in Rally, who they would argue had a bit of a turbulent start to Halo Infinite and still managed to place in the top 8 throughout a worldwide competition. You have the likes of Quadrant, who are absolutely insane. You have Mocket, who have stuck together for so long and have reaped the rewards of that. You have the likes of the boys as well with their new look team with Christola, and of course Quadios joining Robson and Morga. It's going to be really interesting to see how they shake up if they do make it that far, which in my mind, I have no doubt they'll make it that far in Wednesday's tournament against this kind of step up in caliber of team. Because these players have really impressed me, man. The likes of Teo, Nemains, Zami, and I already knew Valkyrie was a beast coming into this series, but to see his teammates really step up and excel in these types of games gives me a lot of encouragement for this new wave of player coming through in Halo Infinite.
Something as well that we've seen some more team changes across the board is HMDA have dropped Cloney. It's never nice to see somebody getting dropped, but they have brought in Lunny.
Yes.
And you were speaking to me about how you like that change and that it could reap rewards for them. Talk to me about it. What can Lunny offer that maybe Cloney just didn't have enough of?
Yeah, I always liked watching Lunny in Halo 5 because he was a kind of hybrid player between a damage dealer and a flanker. He knows when to flank. He knows when to put damage down. I expect him to be more of that damage dealer on this lineup. When you look at the likes of Riots on that team, he likes to flank. We know Ramirez loves a flank as well, but we'll come back to that point, Richie, as we have game 3. 3 series points here for Fantastic to try and convert, and we're going to recharge strongholds.
And here we are then. Like we said, backs against the wall here for Highstakes. They lose here. Fantastic will solidify themselves as top 8. And they will be playing on Wednesday. They have to get through to Highstakes once more. This Strongholds game on recharge. Shots go down though. Camo is going to lose his life. Didn't do a whole lot of damage in the process, but perhaps has done enough. Sandel and the boys, last man alive is going to be Arbiter. We're seeing Strongholds now start to tip ever so slightly in favor of Fantastic. We're seeing a contest come through, but it's not going to be long enough as FDI does manage to get a kill. Be in control of Highstakes. A and C, the per man setup once more in control of Fantastic as they do start to lose A now. Slays in favor of Highstakes, if only by a smidge. Valkyrie, though, he has leaked through and he's got control of yellow. That could be big.
Yeah, interesting to see no grab of the sword just yet, but yeah, you're right. The Valkyrie push here at gold allows his teammates to push over the top of A. Zami with another kill. Oh, well, Left Eye converts Valkyrie. That's so important to keep his team's gold control. But while Valkyrie was contesting Left Eye there, we saw it in the previous series. It doesn't matter if you win that fight, if you're trying to push over to A. It's all about contesting that player and stopping the damage going across the map. So, a good kill from Left Eye, but Valkyrie did his job there. We've seen as a result of that fight over at gold, the 2 players in control able to push over to A. So we're seeing elevator control now in the favor of Fantastic. They're getting slays too. And Lil Sandal, who we're on board with, is last alive. He gets taken down, not before taking A into his favor. But this is a bad push here from MC versus Arbiter. Really mistimed. He should have known to give that one up and keep gold control. And now that first kill gives Fantastic all the impetus to push towards not only B, to continue this total control, but also the camouflage, which is going into Zami's chest.
So unfortunate for Arbiter. He realizes his teammate Sandel needed help, but unfortunately, you sometimes just have to sacrifice your teammate for the greater good. Maintain that control, like Harry speaks of. The mains, though, gets another kill onto Graham. He seems to have his number time and time again. He does lose his life in the process, though. 3 versus 3 on the map momentarily. Zami's going to make that push. Left Eye, though, answers back in anger. 2v2 split. Stronghold still in favor of High Stakes. They're still scoring. They're winning. Only so slightly.
Yeah, this is a good push here from Left Eye. Although he gets taken down from the player playing back A, you want to try and push that triple cap while the opponents are over at B, because you know their first port of call, if you grab A, is to push into that B stronghold. They're going to be so exposed in that area of the map. Valkyrie, though, playing a little slower because he knows his teammates do not have numbers on the map, needs to try and convert this kill. He does so. And Left Eye finishes him off for good measure as well. So, a decent chunk of time here being racked up by High Stakes. They have control of C and B. And, well, Tio and the boys have to try and make something happen here, because right now they don't seem to be in this Recharge Strongholds game just yet.
We did see a player push towards control. There was Valkyrie using that grapple hook. He was able to just get away and shake the attentions of the boys on High Stakes, though. Tio makes sure he takes down Left Eye. Valkyrie and Teo, then the last 2 men standing for their team. Not looking to try and push out just yet. They are going to start getting a little bit more expansive now. The slays are in their favor. This is where they need to turn the tide to get some strongholds.
Yeah, you're so right. Not only to get strongholds, but also the camouflage as well, which is up on the map. Need to see Zami drop for this. This time he'll get away with his life. So we'll see. Oh, will he actually? He's being peppered by bullets in the side. Just needs to play his life at this point. And Valkyrie gets the stop on A as well. So now Zami's going to turn his attentions towards B. Because again, that's that first port of call for the enemy team. When they spawn over at Long Haul, you have a decision to make. Do you funnel into C? Do you go over towards B? It looks like they're trying to get the latter here, but camouflage at top gold is going to be such a difficult break here for High Stakes. They might just have to wait this one out and try and push control instead.
Not just camouflage, but it's camouflage mangler. What a combination it can be. Such a strong presence on the map. Goal is almost completely locked down by that player. It can almost be as strong as sword at times. We've seen that grenade go down. Fortunate though, it was a plasma grenade. He thought for a second it was going to be a frag. You can see he tried to bank it down. It mattered not. Zami makes sure he extends that kill from 4 to 5. Puts himself onto a killing spree. Puts down a little bit of damage onto Sandel. Positioned over towards control. They have just that control of the map momentarily. 3 members go down for High Stakes. That means that they can continue to score.
Yeah, textbook there from Zami. Great gold control. You see how many resources it took from High Stakes to try and break the gold setup from that camo mauler play. The sticky grenade, he thought it was a frag, actually worked out in his favor with the zoning, but Valkyrie just needs to play his life. We're about to see a lead change if they can contest and stop B. 117 to 118, but actually it looks like it's going to go in the favor of High Stakes. Valkyrie goes down. Well, Fantastic do get the lead. Graham goes down, and this reset could maybe come in for B, but no. It's going to flip the other way. C and B now in favor of High Stakes, and camouflage on the map in just a matter of seconds.
Camouflage then. Who is going to get their hands on it? It could be pivotal here, as the score is almost completely tied up, as High Stakes have just taken the lead. Camouflage has been picked up. Has it been burned, or has someone been able to get their hands on it and popped into the chest to be some sort of an influence on the map here? We're seeing Graham sneak his way towards A, starting to transition towards his team. Sandel's going to try and join him, although making it a little bit late. Teo has that sword though, and he's charging. He's going to get that kill. Double for him. 4 dead for High Stakes. How big that could be.
Flies in with the headbutt. You saw it for just a moment. And that is a perfect use of sword there. Using it in the right areas of the map. You want to keep it in those close areas. Perfect. And the assist from Zami. Turning up yet again. Aware of the gold spawns as well. This is going to be total control here for Fantastic. And well, I was going to say, if Graham goes down with no trade, that could be a really tough ask for High Stakes to try and get control back on the map. They finally have gold here with Left Eye, but the problem is, where are the strongholds coming in? They're taking B, but if Left Eye goes down, which he does not. It could be really difficult for them, but they're actually going to flip control in their favor.
Left Eye then has control of yellow here, but unfortunately, it's not going to matter too much because they need to get another stronghold on the board. And there we're going to see Mangler in the hand of Valkyrie. That one-shot beatdown being so strong in close quarters. And this map is just that. Always close quarters, whether it be pipes area or towards that long haul and glass. It's such a useful weapon to try and break any setup. And that's exactly what they've done here. They pushed in. They're trying to get control of B as well. We might see a reset come through. No, we won't. A and B in control of Fantastic now. And they're creeping over that 200-point mark.
Love the plays I'm seeing from Zami, by the way. He's been really, really impressive this series. All of Fantastic have, actually. He saw his teammate die in the B stronghold. Got the kill, got the trade on the player who died, then slid into the stronghold, all while dealing damage on the map. Just a really strong play. Gets the contest here on B as well. If he gets this kill, he can continue taking it. And Tio, another player who's been really impressive, is able to come through and help him out on that kill. So A and B in favor of Fantastic. They are just 40-odd points away from stamping their ticket into Pro Series on Wednesday.
Stronghold captured.
Strongholds, though, going to flip over now towards high stakes. Not all the way, and it looks as though C is being contested and back towards C. They have A and C do Fantastic. It doesn't matter. They can keep scrapping up all these points. Keep high stakes on the back foot. Keep them frustrated. Two members go down. Graham and Sandell respectfully hit the respawn screen. B transitions, and it's going to be a triple cap, but C going to be whipped away in a moment's notice. 19 seconds now.
Ooh.
And as Wonderboy speaks of, as that shock rifle comes through and does more than just make your hair stand up. He puts him in the respawn screen, sends him to the black. Sandell, what can he do with his team to try and convert B? He has done that, but at what cost? As Graham has lost his life. In the process, in the scramble, B is going to be converted once more. 12 points is all that separates them and Wednesday.
Threading the needle with the shock rifle, Zami. You have one push here if you're high stakes, and it has to come soon. It's going to be B. They have to try and contest. The no-scope comes through. Double back smack for Zami to secure Pro Series gameplay for Fantastic. What a way to end the series. Stamps his authority and stamps his team into Wednesday.
Well, Fantastic take high stakes chips. They take them all. They went all in. They've lost the pot. They're going to head down to the losers bracket. Unfortunate for them. They look good in patches, but unfortunately, Fantastic looked so good. Some of these players need a hard nerf. Nemain's popping out of his skin. Zami, though, 22 kills and only 12 deaths. Positive 10 for him. Nemain's also putting in some serious numbers. And not to mention, only one player really going negative, and that's Valkyrie. But I'd be interested to see what sort of damage he was putting down.
Yeah, what's unreal about that is that Zami steals the show with the 22 kills. He only had 7 assists. Nemain's had 13 assists, so actually was involved in more engagements than Zami. But those two working in tandem just gave high stakes so many headaches that game. And when you have two players working so well together, it can be so difficult. I mean, just look at the damage taken from Tio, by the way. That's unreal. That's sub 3,000 on a game like Strongholds. How does that even happen? That's absolutely unreal. Usually, if you see that type of damage taken, you're seeing a dip in the damage dealt. But 4,500 dealt while taking such little damage. He was a ghost on the map.
Well, it might need a rebrand to Casper Will Teo, but he done enough to get his team over the line. They've made top 8. A fantastic performance out of them. There's confirmation on the series layout. 2-1 on Aquarius CTF, 50-41 on Street Slayer, and then to round us out for the clean sweep, 250 to 137 on Recharge Strongholds. They were so strong. They looked almost immovable at times against this team, so be very interested to see how they get on Wednesday and if they can put it up to the big dogs. What a performance, Harry.
Yeah, you're so right. I was about to say that exact thing. I think we said it before game 3. Pro Series is going to be a different caliber of opposition for this team to go up against. So I'm really excited to see how they're able to handle the different challenges that the likes of Ascend, Navi, Quadrant, Mocket, HMLA, I think they're called now, Bing Chilling, whatever team name they're going under. This is a different type of competition. But from what we've seen in this Open Series, they've swept every other European team aside, and in impressive fashion as well. So they're a team I'm going to be keeping my eye on. We said before that Valkyrie can certainly hang with the best in America, comes over to Germany, competes in Europe, gets some friends, and, well, his friends are pretty damn good too.
Well, that's all we've got time for that series. We're going to take a short break. We line up the next game. It's going to be winners round 6, I believe. I'll get confirmation of that, no doubt, but don't go anywhere. Actually, get yourself a brew and some snacks. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back to our coverage of the Open Series. I'm Shersy1, again, joined by Wonderboy, and you've probably got enough of his tips and tricks to fill us up to the gillies at this point, but something we have to talk about, we're waiting on a losers round 6 match. We're waiting for Assault and their boys. They're playing against a team that's in losers round 5. They're in a best of 3, but somehow it's some sort of war. It's a dogfight down there in losers bracket because we're waiting a long time for a Harry.
Yeah, it must be overtime on overtime on overtime. Overtime on strongholds, even if that's even possible.
Yeah,
but
somehow.
Yeah, we're just waiting for a game to catch up. So we can turn this into a little podcast, I suppose, while we wait, fill you in the hips and the happenings of Europa Halo. 2022 is going to be a big year if you're a European competitor and want to try and get into some competitions. This is the perfect place to be.
Yeah, for sure. And something that we've been doing is a giveaway on Twitter. If you are interested in winning an Xbox Series X console, go over to our Twitter /Europa Halo. Get over there, look at what you have to do. Subscribing here helps a long way for us to, paving and funding our tournaments, and I'll pay my wages. I'm taking a large chunk of 90%, I think. But
you're getting paid.
Paid, yeah. All the money's going towards me, really. But what you get is you get 10 entries if you subscribe to our channel in the giveaway. So if you're interested in winning a console, we know they're very hard to get their hands on, and it's the limited edition Halo one as well. It's not just any old standard black Xbox Series X. It's going to be the one with the Master Chief on it. So yeah. It's got some extra sexy for it. But something that we also released in the video is our roadmap. We've released the first quarter of our tournaments that we're going to be running. So we've got some big team battle stuff coming in a couple of weeks, but also we have a cup coming on Saturday. So if you're interested in getting involved at the grassroots level, playing for some small little prizes here and there, and then maybe entering into these big cups come the Open qualifiers the following day, it's definitely something that you can sink your teeth into, Harry.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of things to touch on. I mean, first things first, it's a grassroots tournament we're running here. So back when I was competing in around 2013, 2014, like the Halo 4 era, there were none of these grassroots type competitions for you to gain your confidence, for you to network. It was literally get battered in pro and rinse and repeat. So these types of tournaments are so good for you to network with players, find new players to play matchmaking with, start improving your skills, reflect, and get yourself ready for these types of competitions. Europa Halo is still going to be here for the Halo Championship Series Open coverage as we are today while we wait for a game to catch up. But if you're an aspiring player coming in either from a different esport title, whether you've been away from Halo for a long while, Europa Halo is a perfect place for you to get back into the scene. You can join the Discord, find players in there. It's a really good way to get yourself oiled up for these types of competitions. And then coming back to the giveaway, Richie, it's a Halo Series X console. It's the Halo one. These things are like gold dust. You can't find these things anywhere. They're like, it's an amazing prize. I mean, it's about 500 quid's worth of stuff we're giving away right there. Plus, pro players at Rally said that you get more auto aim on a Series X. So if you want to be a beast in matchmaking, enter the giveaway now. Make sure you head over to the Europa Halo Twitter. You can obviously find the Discord, all the relevant links on there as well. But then click on the Gleam giveaway. If you sub to the Twitch channel, again, not only does it fund these grassroots tournaments and help us put on better competitions for you guys to watch, but also you get 10 entries into the giveaway for the Xbox. So if you have a free Prime sub right now, if you have Amazon Prime, you haven't used it on another Twitch streamer, consider using it on this channel because there's a chance you could come away with one of those very, very exclusive consoles, and you can be helping grassroots European Halo at the same time.
If you're not in, you can't win. And touching upon the grassroots tournaments, I've seen a lot of people in Discord. They're looking for teams, they're looking for players to play with, and they're putting in things like their Onyx rank and their Diamond players will this is the perfect place to get involved on the Saturdays. Sign up with a few friends, and then, like Harry says, it's the only way to really network, because the best players won't see you play in these tournaments unless you make it deep in the competition. So it's all about building yourself up from the ground up, and it can be very difficult to break into those upper echelons of players if they don't see you playing, and you can't make a name for yourself. So there's definitely get involved in those Saturday Cups, and then before you know it, you'll be playing in some Discord 8s, which I'm seeing going about quite often, and they're quite high level.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hearing in our ears, Richie, that the game might just be ready. So we might go to a break very shortly. But before we do, like you say, these are not only great grassroots competitions, but they're also fun ones. Like 2 versus 2 tournaments. We don't see many of those around. We have those on the horizon. We have fun, different tournaments with all sorts of different implications. So it's definitely worth getting involved with Europa Halo. Big things planned for this year, so make sure you stick around.
And with that, we're going to get ourselves ready for the game. We'll go get our caster jerseys on, our caster shorts, and we'll be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We finally have some gameplay to show. We do now have Mysts up against Resurex. It's going to be a little bit of a slobber knocker, and this game better live up to the billing, Harry. We've waited long enough.
Yeah, we've waited long enough. Come on, guys. You always want the spotlight put on you as amateur players, and then you milk us for days, and you wonder why your games don't get shown. But we're finally ready after like an hour between our last series and this one. I'm excited to see more Halo Infinite gameplay. We have new game types. We're in the lower bracket now, so loser goes home. And you have no chance if you lose this series of qualifying for Wednesday's Pro Series. You've got to wait until next Sunday's Open Series again. So this is a big high-stakes game right here for both of these two teams. There are some names that I've heard of, others that I'm only just witnessing for the first time. So I'm looking for players to impress me right here and continue their lower bracket run.
Yeah. Players that we've heard of before, Assault and Mighty, 2 Dutch players that have been in and around the scene since Halo 5. So they've been there and they've done that. They've been competing for a very long time. On their team, Regards and Welshmania, they'll be looking to impress 2 guys from Britain. And we also, on the other side of things, a real surprise package, Keanu, Geraplow, Maniac, and Red 2K5. So very much going to be a surprise package. We don't know what way it's going to shake out. I will lean towards Assault and Mighty because I know them, but anything really goes here.
This is it. We're always used to backing the kind of known quantity when it comes to these types of games. But again, there's a reason that Resurex are this far, Mysts are this far into the bracket. Excuse me, no, I was right the first time. Resurex.
You were right. You're right.
I was right. But it's good to see them this far into the bracket, honestly. So I'm looking forward to seeing them really impress me. I know Limited is someone that I match in matchmaking quite often. He's a decent player, so they're starting the game off on the back foot here as we see Mysts and Assault in particular start the game off with a nice double kill. Needs to milk his life here behind a pillar, but will eventually go down.
So here we are then. On Bazaar, a little tussle down bottom middle. Welshmania is going to throw him over the top ropes and come out on top in that particular engagement. Flag now out and on the move. It's only been thrown towards the courtyard. They're going to opt to run this over towards the treehouse. We're not upset with that one bit. Have they stopped the overextenders? We haven't seen enough kills come through, and Mighty's going to die, as is Welshmania. That flagpole stopped in its tracks.
Yeah, 3 kills for Resurex, and I'll tell you what, they're on the run of their own as well. 2 players on the return. There's a chance here for him to turn 2, but the return comes in. That's the main thing. Flag still on the move here as well for Resurex. I think it's Keanu. Manu does not have a kill at this moment in time. Picks up his first just then, but is doing all the objective work here. 2 on 2, but it doesn't matter. The first flag capture in the first 2 minutes goes to Resurex.
We have to talk about maybe a little bit Regards. He's seen those 2 players in front of him, went for the back whack. I would have liked to see maybe the back whack and then a flag touch just to keep that flag alive. Unfortunately, he didn't make that decision. He loses his life, and the result of that, they're down by 1 flag cap. They had all the kills in the map control, but unfortunately a couple of kills went against them, Harry, and now they've seen themselves down by 1 flag cap. Not to get too disheartened though, although overshield now. Popped into the chest of Keanu. Can he go full John Wick?
Love the defensive dynamo grenades there into lockers. Got the call there with players there. Knew he was going to be contested by those players should he go for the overshield. Decided to use those to deny the area, and in fact gets the assist as well. So well played. Has Bulldog in hand here as well. Mid-map, his team have most of the middle of the map control, but a bit of a whiff there. Does get the trade thanks to, I think, a teammate there maybe with a betrayal grenade. Either way, 2-on-2 in the middle of the map. Looks like Unlimited last alive on rockets, which are about to pop in 15 seconds. So important here, Richie. Continue to hold mid-map control in order for these rockets coming up in just 5 seconds time.
Rockets about to pop, as Harry says. Regards already positioned over there, as is Mighty, and it looks as though Mysts are going to be the ones to get their hands on the rockets. Regards turns 1 kill. Maniac hits the respawn screen. The push is coming through. Welsh Mania also picks up 2. That's going to be 3 dead. Keanu, the last man alive, but is he in any shape or form able to stop this push? As you see him overextended from the bar side. Shots go down the half shields, hitting some lovely ones, but unfortunately has to back down.
That's okay. He's got rockets running the flag right now, so this isn't the worst position to be in. The problem is you have some overextenders that have broken into the middle of the map here for Resurex, so you've got to slow this flag run down. Make sure you reslay OS in 20 seconds as well, so you could even stall this flag run for that amount of time, continue the bar control, and then start thinking about moving this flag, but it's so delayed. Why is this flag not being moved? They had so many down. Instead, staying in bar, that's allowing players to push out of tree in a prime position for the overshield. And well, I'm not sure about this one bit. Regards goes down. Very questionable decision making there indeed. Overshield about to pop. And well, you've just surrendered the middle of the map to the enemy team and didn't even move the flag to your own base.
Is that inexperience there? Regards, he has 10 kills, he's well able to shoot, but unfortunately this decision making has to come into question there. Didn't get a touch on the flag, didn't move it for his team, opted to stay towards that bar area, but not able to do any sort of significant damage, prioritizing kills when really they didn't need to be. But on the other side of things, Resurex, they pull the flag of their own. Shot's going to go through as well. Assault, the Dutchman's going to lose his life. This flag's on the move, and what should have been a 1-all game could very well be a 2-0 lead to Resurex.
You can tell Unlimited here knows there's players over towards the tower side, towards rockets, so opting not to run this flag and might get a kill of his own here as well. Just needs to play his life here, maybe forget about this flag at this point, because as long as he's alive on the Mysts side of the map, he's going to be a nuisance. This is exactly what I would love to see out of Unlimited. It's unfortunate to get killed around the corner, but it's just enough that's going to make Mysts, the blue team, hesitate, and that can give them that little window of opportunity to push mid-map, regain control. For this 6-minute mark approaching, Richie, you know what that means. Rockets and OS.
Window of opportunity here now for Mysts. Can they boot that window straight in, dive through it with those rockets? Can they get their hands on the second set of rockets? Well, only time will tell. Still a little bit of time to set up. You don't want to be the team that loses the first kill, and unfortunately Jericho and Red have already hit the respawn screen. Overshield going to pop up, but Dynamo Grenades now in the hands of Keanu. Not going to be enough to keep him alive. 4 men alive now, and we're going to see the goodies transition to them, barring some sort of miracle.
Yeah, 13 seconds though until those items come up on the map, which means if you get a round of slays here, if you're Resurex, there's still hope for you to get those items into your possession. But Welsh Mania with 2 kills. You now have Assault as well, leading the Assault. Welsh Mania was this 3rd in a row. The question is, 6-minute marks are already been and gone. Where are the rockets? Where's the overshield here? This is a big problem now for Mysts. They've overextended for the flag. They've forgotten about the middle of the map, and 3 of them go down. I think all 4 went down for a moment there. And if they've lost rockets on OS in the making of that happening, then that's a huge misplay.
That's the 2nd time now we've seen Mysts pull the flag, get it up just towards that halfway point, but they haven't checked for that overextender. Time and time again, it's been Jericho. He's gotten behind enemy lines and stopped that flag push, so he's doing a great job at just slipping through, but at the same time, Mysts just not clearing their back.
Well done by Mighties though. Manages to get to, stems the flow of the enemies on his own side. He knows there's a player that is in the bar, but his teammate takes them down. So now it's time to use the information that you have here on the middle of the map. That you know there's a guy in lockers, you've got the ticks from the Dynamo Grenade, so now you can start to isolate other players. This is good from Mighties. We'll pick up the grapple as well to go zoomies into bar. And all of a sudden you now have the Resurex members spawning in trench, spawning. I mean, you see Unlimited there, it's just spawned on Thruster all by himself. No chance of him escaping that with his life. And now it's just about finding these spawners. Is there contention mid-map? Is there contention bar? The answer to both of those questions, Richie, is yes. But I mean, Mighty's playing his life perfectly here. They're all looking for him instead of the flag runner. And now he can maybe reintroduce himself to the fold mid-map, but I think his teammates have all gone down. OS in 20, if they can get a touch, which they do, it's huge. Now Mighty's can maybe look towards touching the flag. Welshmania needs to get this kill, and he does. 3 down. Jericho last alive for Resurex. Can he do anything to stop this?
Can Jericho break the walls down? He's already gotten through double doors. A little fumble. Is that going to pay the price? No, it's not. He's gotten all the way through. Flag should get all the way home. Now, Jericho cannot get the stop. He has hit the respawn screen. 3 members up a piece. Tied up 1-1 with just under 4 minutes to change left to play.
Yeah, 4-minute mark went, so Resurex said, hey, there's no chance of us getting through double doors to stop that flag. Let's just take mid-map control. Let's get that overshield, which is what Unlimited has done. Now it's about where do you apply the pressure here. Looks like they're all going through tree, but the flank from Regards is not picked up soon enough. If he gets 2 here, that's huge. If he gets 3, that's a miracle. But 3 down for Resurex. Jericho last alive. This flag run is done.
The warmest regards from his namesake. Trying to push through into that side. Gets himself a double kill. The damage was done. Now we're seeing Resurex on the back foot now, having to play a little bit of defense. Assault trying to use that Mangler one-shot beat down, but unfortunately Jericho has his number on this occasion. Limited gets a kill in the feed as well to put Regards back to the black. Now Mangler in a 1v1 engagement with Mighty's this time. Pivotal one comes out on top. It's going to be the Dutchman. And he's trying to push out of his treehouse here, but they're being pegged back just a little bit here by Resurex.
Yeah, the problem is with Resurex, again maintaining mid-map. 3-minute mark has been and gone. Rockets should have been up. So my question is, where are those? Can you find them anywhere? And if you're Resurex, can you put them to good use? 2v2 on the map right now with territory in favor, I would argue, of Mysts. Sure, you have Jericho last alive here in lockers, but if you take him down, you have full mid-map control. And look at this, jumping up and down on the railing there from Mighty's. Really well played. Mid-map now in the favor of Mysts with 2 minutes to go.
Welshmania has 20 kills in the game. Regards 18 just behind them. They're heavily outslaying this Resurex team, but haven't been able to turn those kills into points on the board. And that might come back to bite them. We've seen it happen time and time again in Halo. You can kill all day long, but this is a capture the flag game. Get some flags into your home base and put yourself into the lead. Assault being shot in the back, a little bit of pressure being put on him, applied by Unlimited, and he's going to make it a play for the home enemy base.
Been so impressed with what I've seen from Resurex. The timing on their slays to get mid-map as the power-ups and power items are coming up on the map is absolutely clinical. I'm pretty sure every overshield going in their favor this game. I might be wrong in saying that, but really well done timing of the slays. And now with 1:30, you have an overshield player zooming at your own flag. There's going to be pressure from all sides here as Unlimited just plays his life. This could be the final flag capture of the game. It's all about who can overextend here. Regards last alive. Where has he spawned? If he goes down, this is going to be 2-1.
He has gone down. Welshmania has come up off the respawn, and the game may well be in his hands if he doesn't get some sort of influence. He's trying to get the player down to no shields. He does just that. Assault spawns up, and what can only have been the thruster pack puts some shots through the window with that extended sight line. But has the damage been done? They've already gotten the flag up towards the staircase, and a little fumble might not be enough here. It's going to be 2-1 to Resurex with only a minute left. Mysts have to get the job done here and now.
They have to. They've got pretty much one push to go. 45 seconds. You need a round of slays mid-map, and then you need a round of slays in the enemy's flag. Well, there's 2 from Mighty's. Huge play from him. And an assist as well. So 3 down. Jericho last alive now for Resurex. Where is this flag being moved though? Assault is last alive. Has to recycle himself in the middle of the map. Just watch and call for the pushes. And I tell you what, Richie, if you can sneak here through double doors and get a touch with 20 seconds to go, then it would be huge. But he can't convert the Bulldog play, and he will go down. So now you have 10 seconds to get across the map. You've got to go if you're Mysts right here.
The muzzle was off the Bulldog there, and it bit hard. We're seeing engagements go down, but they're going against Mysts if you're a fan of them, because they've only got no more time now. That's going to be game 1, going towards Resurex despite being heavily outslayed. Mysts just couldn't get the job done objectively.
Well played from both teams, honestly. But Resurex in the end, the timing of their slays, the timing of them grabbing control of the middle of the map was the difference maker in that game. We'll take a look at the stats. Jericho, we didn't see too much of his point of view, but 23 kills. 17 deaths. That's a +6 spread. The rest of his team going negative, actually. So Jericho, the shining light there. Overall, though, you have to say it was a really well-played game from Resurex. And, well, they lead the series going into our next game, Richie.
Yep. And our next game is going to be Slayer on live fire. It's going to be the first time we've seen a little bit of live fire. There's confirmation 2-1 to Resurex, and we now turn our attentions to the Slayer. And with the way Mysts were playing, they were getting the better of them in that category of things. Is there hope here that we go to a game 3?
Oh yeah, I think there's definitely hope. I mean, we saw it in our first game with the stream, didn't we? Where it was Fantastic who were outslaying their opponents in the flag, but couldn't get the objective done, and then move into the Slayer game in game 2 and just absolutely outshone their opponents. So it's possible we'll see a game 3 here. We'll say live fire Slayer can be, I don't want to use the term snowbally, but it can get out of hand really quickly if you're not on top of the spawns. And one thing I did see out of Resurex is that, yeah, sure, they got outslayed, they allowed things to get scrappy at times, but their spawn control was very impressive there on Bazaar. So if they can do that again here on live fire, it's going to be a tough time for their opponents.
Well, we actually look at it in the balance of things. Mysts, they pulled quite a lot of flags, but they just didn't have the efficiency to get the job done. But I want to say Resurex only had a couple of flag grabs, and they made sure that they got it all the way home. So the efficiency is there on their part, but maybe the spawn system, they can manipulate it a little bit on live fire, and they can maybe close out this series here and now.
Yeah, I'm worried if I missed right here, because you didn't really win any of the fights over the power items on the map in game 1. And Slayer, we know if you grab the power up, if you grab the sniper, the heat wave, you're gonna have a much better chance at winning the game than if you're losing the fights for those weapons and not able to grab those items. You don't want to be going up against the power up and a sniper who's going off. So very important that you right the wrongs of game 1 here in terms of fighting over the power items, because otherwise you're going to have a real tough time.
And with players like Assault and Mysts, they've been playing Halo for a very, very long time. They should know the basic fundamentals of winning a game of Halo. And somehow they managed to let the power-ups and the power weapons slip through their grasps almost every single time. They, I think, got the overshield and the rocket launcher at the very start of the game when they got the initial slays, but from then on out, they died at the worst possible times.
Yeah, and that's something that you kind of have to keep tabs on if you're players in a game. And this is one of the best pieces of advice I can give to these amateur players who are trying to break into the latter rounds of brackets and the mold that is the Pro Series on Wednesdays. You want to make your name for yourself there, then you have to keep tabs on when you're dying on the map. It's no good for your team if you're dying around the 6-minute mark when the tide can completely swing and your team needs you alive dealing damage on the map. You can't die then because you're a huge detriment to your team. Your team is facing an uphill struggle at that point. So keep an eye on that this game. Keep an eye on the timing of the slays from Resurex, and if Mysts can maybe start to reel themselves in a bit and be a bit more cognitive in terms of when they're dying.
With the introduction of live fire being the first time we've seen it, it's going to be really influential. Is that heat wave? It's going to be cooking down bottom middle, and we've seen it be such a massive influence, along with the mangler set up towards those sandbags areas. So if you can control that mangler and the power up, you could be a real force here, Harry. And we're really looking for Mysts to get the job done here and now.
Oh, this is it. I mean, we didn't even mention the mangler as well as the other party tricks that are on the map. It's obviously such a powerful item to use because you can deal damage at close range, long range. You want to make sure you're keeping track of that. But Assault with an incredible grenade, and actually that's a double from Assault as well, is going to help things in terms of Mysts' supremacy on the map here. Heatwave in the hands of Keanu, but the power up in around 2 seconds time, and this is what I was talking about. You don't want to be dying around this time. Resurex going 2 down, that's not a good situation for them to be in, because now there's going to be a free power-up grab for Mysts, and that's just going to help extend their 4-point lead, and it's Mighty's with the camouflage.
Mighty's with the camouflage. I'd love to see him get his hands on a heat wave or a mangler, and you can see his attentions have turned to go back towards that way. He's going to shoot top middle. I'm not sure I like this from him. His team has done a great job putting down an initial bit of damage. Mighty's gets that kill and isn't going to die here and now. So he hasn't been made to pay for his mistakes there of exposing himself top middle. Puts down another couple of shots, and we're seeing very early on here Resurex just turtling up a little bit.
Yeah, beautiful from Mighty's. Knows there's plenty of spawners over at B. Cleared them out entirely, and Welsh Mania all the while has the sniper. Just needs to play his life here, but look at this healthy 9-point lead. It's 11-2. If you're Resurex, you're spawning in a pretty terrible location in terms of where you are on the map. Steadies his aim and is still playing Ring Around the Rosies with this player in tunnel. If he hits this shot, I will lose my skin. But either way, a brilliant series of plays there from Welsh Mania, and 13-5 is an incredibly healthy score. Threads the needle for the double as well. Go on, do the triple. Go on, my son. So close, but Jericho just about cleans him up. But 17-6, Richie.
Welsh Mania blowing the dandruff off of Resurex here with those shots. Unbelievable accuracy from him, and almost turned that 2 into a triple as well. Putting down some serious numbers. That's exactly what this team need to get themselves back into this series. They're on the ropes there. One more loss and they're out of the tournament. So Welsh Mania doing what he can to drag them into the next round.
Absolute beast mode right there. Haven't seen too much of Maniac so far this game. So now it's his turn to shine with the heat wave. 30 seconds until the next sniper comes up, so you want to be either controlling sandbags or tower, ideally both. But look at this from Mysts. 2 players already contesting this area of the map. They're collapsing in waves. They don't get a trade either. That's 3 kills unreplied from Mysts. So while we're always thinking about the new sniper coming up, Mysts just want kills. That's all they want. Welsh Mania's already on 10. We have a bottom middle flank coming in here from Mighties, but well, I mean, is the damage already done? New sniper spawning now.
Mighty and Assault then. The Dutch Wombo combo coming in, rocking and rolling. Putting down some damage for the rest of their team to pick up on. We're seeing again, Welsh Mania is going to fall, but Maniac also positioned top middle, loses his life over towards sandbags. Who can get their hands on that camouflage then? Going to be up very, very shortly. It could be a difference maker in this game. 25 kills at 13. I tell you, Resurex need this camouflage now more than ever. They're on the back foot here, and the pressure is unrelenting.
Yeah, it should be around 25 seconds for that next power-up. So, I mean, you've called it perfectly. Both teams happy to slow this one down. Wondering where that sniper has gone, if anyone knew that it was down on sandbags. Looks like players are trying to contest that area. I like that because you need the height in this area to look over the power-up, which is coming up, Richie, in about 5 seconds. So a huge team fight to come here.
Assault loses his life in the opening engagement as well. Sniper rifle in the hands of Keanu. What can he do to help his team secure this camouflage? He turns his attention back over towards it and help his team just get their hands on it because they need to throw themselves back in the mixer here. Camouflage has been picked up, but they have lost limit red in the process, and we're seeing them back up now with the sniper rifle. Trains his eyes and his scope towards those dummies though. And unfortunately, nobody's going to fall into those sight lines for him. Mighties, though, picks up a kill. And although they had the side of the map that they wanted with the camouflage, they still find themselves on the receiving end of a couple of kills.
Yeah, I think it was Unlimited who actually picked up that camouflage, but was burned so quickly by Mysts. So we're seeing a completely different Mysts team here. Nice no-scope to hit there on Mighties. But the reality of the situation is you're down by a huge margin, 11 points down if you Resurex, and the question has to come in, where do you get these points back? Well, it's certainly not challenging 1v1s like that. Certainly not, Maniac. You need to be reeling yourself in here, currently 2-10 on the scoreboard. But right now, if you missed, just trade the rest of the game away. I mean, sure, you have the 6-minute mark approaching, means Sniper and Camo appearing on the map at the same time. But you have to get the points margin close to really be in with a shot of bringing this one back, but you keep sliding in on 2 players. I mean, the heads have gone at this point, Richie.
It's some bamboozling plays are being made. It's unfathomable at times. We've already seen some players on stream dropping massive negative spreads. We've seen Buck 20 going 6-17, and with the experience that he has, with the experience some of these players have, it's time that you just, at times when you're down by so many deaths, Just stop moving, slow down, put some damage down. But instead we're seeing them, like you say, slide into those engagements in 1v2 fashions. You're not going to turn your game around like that.
Welshmania is having a ridiculous game, by the way. 16 kills, 8 deaths. He's already double positive and contesting the right areas of the map at the right time as well. Contesting sandbags while Sniper and Camo comes up. A huge decision to make, but I think Unlimited has the Sniper. So maybe there's a way to get back in this game. You're down by 9 points. You need to just let Unlimited go to work here. Not using the Sniper to its best use case scenario at this point. Needs to dodge the grenades as well, but yeah, his team aren't exactly helping him out. I'm not seeing any damage dealt across the board. It's being double pushed, and well, I think they've just signed their own death warrant there, Richie. This game 2 looks like it's in the books.
So much pressure being put on that sniper rifle, and no players exchanging damage back to try and give him some semblance of safety. 47 to 34 the kills now, and players like Keanu and Maniac having a game to forget once more, and they only need 2 more to push this into a game 3. We will be heading towards recharge strongholds. 1 more kill remaining. Is it going to be the man Welshmania, who's already got 17, make it 18 to turn that one into a double? Huge numbers from Welshmania and Mighty, putting in 18 kills apiece for a combined 36. Incredible work out of them. And momentum now has shifted back towards the guys on Mysts as they head towards game 3.
Yeah, what a turnaround. That was a completely different Mysts team than we saw from Bizarre capture the flag. We see here Welshmania 18 kills. Joining him as well, Mighties. We didn't really highlight him too much throughout the game, but he was hanging in there with the best of them. Welshmania and Mighties really doing the work. Welshmania with the flashy plays, but you see there with the damage dealt. 4,500 for Mighties. You have to feel for Unlimited. 4.7 thousand damage on the other side, but his teammates were nowhere to be seen in terms of the slaying category. So, Richie, we go to a deciding game 3.
Attentions now do turn to recharge strongholds. Let's get confirmation of how it did shake out this far though. 2-1 Bizarre CTF 2 Resurex, and like we just seen, Mysts picking up the win on Slayer Livefire 50 to 35. Now though, recharge strongholds for all of the marbles. You win here and you head on. You lose and you're completely out of the competition. Harry, it's do or die.
Yeah, and this could get really, really scrappy between these two teams. We've seen 2 scrappy games already between them, but recharge strongholds, like we've seen in previous rounds, we've seen a lot of meta plays come in, you know, bigger picture plays come in from teams. The way this series has gone so far, I don't expect that to be the case. I'm not sure that these players will be focusing on doing things to enable other objectives. For example, trying to contest the guy at gold so your team can push to top 8. I don't expect any of that business here, Richie. I expect a complete slobber knocker, and it might come down to who goes off in game 3 right here. We have shock rifle, we have camouflage, we have sword, mangler, repulsor, grapple, all the weapons on the map you already know, but it's about who's going to use them to their best use case and really go off to make the difference here in game 3.
These 2 teams are going to trade it blow for blow, and you said it perfectly. It's going to be a slobber knocker, and with the way these games have shaken out, you spoke about in the last series how strongholds generally tends to favor the team that does the most slays, and what we've seen in game 1 and in game 2 is that is very clearly Mysts. And with Welshmania and Mighty playing and performing out of their skin in that last game, momentum is well and truly on their side, and we're going to need to see the likes of Limited to try and turn things around here for his team.
It can be a bit of a double-edged sword when you're outslaying the other team as highly as Mysts is. Because, yeah, sure, you're going to have more free reign of the map as long as the enemy team is down. But the problem is, if you accidentally push a triple cap where maybe you shouldn't be pushing one, all of a sudden you give split spawns to the enemy and they're splitting the spawns behind you. And the triple cap suddenly turns into control on the other side, and then you put yourself on the back foot. So don't want to see any of that from these 2 teams. I want to see them play some nice, clean, objective play, but early on here, looks like Slay's going in favor of both teams, actually. Camouflage, will he get away there, Jericho? Oh, what a great target switch there from Regards. Great listening. The camo player goes down as well, so overall, I'd have to say Mysts, they're controlling the game early on.
Always signs of a good player when he stops shooting the player he was originally in a fight with and turns his attentions towards where his teammate is calling out. You know he's on track, he's listening, and the communication is on point. He's sending and receiving information all the while. Another couple of shots go down by Regards. Another engagement here as Mighty comes in with the help as well. He's going to immediately turn his attentions over towards top control, put some damage towards these new spawners over towards B. The trade goes through. Maniac gets the kill onto Assault, and now they're spawning towards A, and that one death by Assault could mean that the scoring goes towards Resurex.
Yeah, like this patient shown here from Regards. You don't want to be pushing him without your team, so he's waiting for that damage to come through. Gets the trade, but 2 of his teammates have gone down. So you want to be patient here. I think it tells a lot about the ideology of these 2 teams, how they want to play this game type, and that almost a minute had passed before anyone decided to capture B. They were just playing between A and C, but well, now A and B in favor of Resurex. It's all about just contesting this, controlling it, and more importantly, getting towards the camouflage in 25 seconds time. It's Mysts that have to push forward. They have to be the one that has the impetus on them. So while they're doing that, make sure you scutter away with the camouflage, which is coming up in around 10 seconds time.
Early goose watch for both teams. Welshmania, after going off in game 2, yet to find himself a kill. Unlimited, also yet to find himself a kill. Maniac now with the shock rifle positioned over towards this pipes area, and he'll be looking to lock it down, relying on his teammates to put damage down on anybody trying to push him towards this glass. He's gotten that information that his player's there, needs to back down just a touch to keep himself alive and maintain control. If they clear him out here, it's a free push on the rest of the map. So I like this from him, prioritizing staying alive, though Assault has scampered away with the camouflage.
This is what we were talking about. I thought it would be Resurex that might try and play for the camo, but instead they've almost just let Assault grab this. I know we had Maniac with the shock rifle, but he did not do nearly enough to prevent the players pushing for camo. I know he was getting god-naded from several players as soon as he shot the shock rifle. So yeah, very unfortunate there, and you can see the damage that Assault is doing as a result of grabbing this camouflage. So yeah, a curious one there from Resurex, and it might be to their detriment.
Again, don't want to harp on it too much, but Unlimited, your team needs you here. The game has started, in the words of Snipedown. You haven't gotten a kill yet, and you've registered 5 deaths. It's time to come alive. Your team needs you here, backs to the walls. You cannot afford to lose this game here and now. 10 kills already put on the board by Maniac. He's doing all he can as they try to make this push now. They have control of the map, though. Despite the fact that they've been even on the slays, they managed to eke out just a sliver of a lead. 2 kills go in their favor now, and they could push a triple cap if they do please.
Yeah, so important here for Assault to be contesting this area of the map. You need players top gold to stop players pushing from tower, or control as it's called on the map, over the top to A. If you hold top gold, you can stop those players just by putting damage down, but instead, Assault is just, he's being let loose. He's off the leash here with this Mangler. Maniac on 13 kills, Unlimited here on 0 kills. So new camo coming up, important fight to win, and well, Unlimited is now 0 and 8, and more importantly, Richie's fumbled the camo as well.
Things seem to be going from bad to worse. Could this be back-to-back successive camouflages for our main man Assault? Niels does fall down. Camouflage still down bottom middle, yet to be burned, and going to be picked up by his compatriot in Mighties. What can he do with it now? No Mangler to play with this time for him, though. It's going to be down to relaying information to his team on where these players are going to be spawning up. They have gold control. They're going to lose C. Is he looking to contest it here just a little bit? He is going to put some shots down, get that kill. I'd like to see him back down, just play his life. He's going to do that as well, but unfortunately, he's dropped down into the pit right in front of the Maniac.
Yeah, good info gathered though from that camouflage. I did worry when one of the players from Resurex decided to throw grenades instead of shooting his gun, that maybe he could have costed his teammate there, but oh, he can't even get to B there. B is not completed, so Mysts now can get the reset there. They hold A and B, and with another minute until the next power-up on the map, you have to wonder, is this an opportunity now for Mysts to just hold A and B and really get the scoring back in their favor? They're down by, what, around 10 points at this point.
I figured out what the issue is. Unlimited hasn't picked up any of the HCS team skins. He hasn't got the Navi skins for those extra damage buffs, and that is why he's still yet to find himself a kill. Now on board with Regards through the eyes and ears in his visor. What can he do here? He drops down like Batman out of the clouds. takes out the bad guy and also gets the reset onto B as well. Does ultimately lose his life, but at great cost because they picked up a triple cap here, Harry.
Does Keanu not have any headphones? How did he not hear Regards regain his shields at gold? This is a big contest from Mysts, and he actually gets the reset and the stick as well. That's a big misplay from Keanu, I'll be honest. And now you have 2 players trapped at pipes. I mean, honestly, if I'm Mysts, I kill this guy top turbo and then I go to A straight away, but he's traded off. And Limited finally on the board, 1 kill, but this man, Maniac, has 18 kills.
Is there any chance he could donate some kills over towards Unlimited after such an impressive game number 2? He's having the worst of it here in game 3, right when his team needed the most. Backs to the walls here. Has picked up a second, though. And that could be the path to redemption for him. Still in this game. Miraculously, they're only down by 30 or so points, so they're still well within their rights of picking up the win here. And if Unlimited can start to cook on some gas, get through those gears, they could be a force to be reckoned with here. Maniac picking up 18 kills and 9 deaths. An impressive performance out of him. He just needs a little bit of help.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's like driving a car with 3 wheels. It's much easier with 4. Still doable with 3, but you definitely benefit with the extra traction. So still time in this game for Unlimited to turn things around. You can see the momentum, though, fully in favor of Mysts. Doing a great job here as well, Mighty's working with his teammate to secure top gold. That means all the while Resurex cannot push B, which is one of their strongholds. And I like this drop here, just to reset B. You know once they capture A, they're going to be coming for your other stronghold. So why not make it a little bit more difficult? You can watch the cross as well over to pipes. So now it's about where the push comes in. Have around 30 seconds until the next camouflage, Richie. So it's all about trying to contest points on the map until that point.
Big trade does come through, though. Keanu gets the trade, and that's going to make sure C stays in their control for a little while longer. It has been captured just over a quarter, though. So if anybody jumps in there, it is ripe for the taking, and we're already seeing Mighty's rotating his way over there. Unlimited, though, going to answer that aggression with taking B, but unfortunately, no. Mighty's charges in there with no fear. He takes him out. They might lose B anyway, though. And they've got some men. They've sent some resources over there. A and B now in the control of Resurex. Damage getting put down onto Assault, who gets his shields cracked. He has to back down over towards that glass area. You were seeing pings desperately getting put through here by Maniac. Stressing that call out to that player over towards glass, but you don't really need to when you have him down to no shields. He's out of the fight. You've done the damage.
What's crazy is that all of this damage being put down by Maniac there, Richie, is not being supplemented by Resurex moving up on the map. Somehow it's Mysts to come away with the camouflage. I mean, it was up for so long and we saw Maniac with 2 kills, or excuse me, 2 lots of damage, and still it's Mysts that come away with the power-up. That's really strange. Welsh Mania, though, with Mangler and Camo, we know how prevalent this combo can be.
Assault had Camo Mangler. Mighty's had Camo. Now 3 camos for them. Welsh Mania is going to be the next man in succession to pick up that camouflage. Has just run out of juice, but the damage has been done. They're controlling A and B and have got a significant point advantage now of just over 30 or so seconds. So you have the players located over towards yellow pipes as Assault has lost his life. So there could be a break of a setup here from Resurex if they can make the right moves. We're seeing Welsh Mania aware of that, dropping back towards A, if only for a moment, and making a little bit more of an aggressive push with that Mangler. Killing spree comes through as well. He's going to try and capture C.
Yeah, smart play from Mysts, honestly. Once you get that information from Welsh Mania that Resurex have broken into top gold, you have 2 options. You can try and make a stand on A, or you can work with your teammate to try and take C from them. And yeah, sure, it ends up in A and B being captured by Resurex, but you're still all alive. You still have a chance to retake the map. But in the end, we have, what is this, 155 to 192. A big passage of play coming up real soon because you have Camouflage coming up, approaching the 10-minute mark of this game, Richie. It's been a long one, and this next Camouflage could be the thing that turns the tide.
Let's see exactly what way the waves go then. We're seeing Maniac creep over towards that camouflage. A little bit of contest there, though, on the C plat. He's trying to get the burn, unable to do so, and it's going to go into the chest of Mysts once more. They've gotten 4 camouflages now without reply. The issue I have, they're heavily outslaying this team, Resurex, but somehow they find themselves just about to lose the lead, but for a contest over on B.
Well done by Mighties. No need to chase that kill at all. Make sure your team gets A. You can hold C. You know the entirety of Resurex now are pinned at gold and B because they just got the contest there. Playing very dangerously, but tell you what, he's being rewarded by it as well. They're going for a triple cap here. Not sure if this is what I would do in this position, but hey, they're the ones playing on the virtual main stage right now. He dies with Camo Mauler, and I tell you what, if they're able to grab C from behind them as well, Resurex, then this could be really dangerous. But Regards has steadied the ship. We're into the 12th minute of this Strongholds game. Game 3, losers round 6. You lose this, you go home.
It's high risk, high reward, pushing the triple cap, and that's what we've seen. They almost donated and have donated map control by influencing them spawns all too much. They've choked them up and gave them nowhere to go, and unfortunately they spawn behind you, and you've handed the impetus straight back to Resurex. The damage that Mighty was able to do, putting some more damage down here now, is Keanu. But a big trades come through, and 3 members dead now for Resurex. We could see a triple cap in effect once more.
Yeah, 4 dead, and the benefit of a fresh 4 dead is that you see where the spawn is based on which stronghold they're taking, but they're not taking any. They're just dripping points right now. Finally, C is contested. They allow them to get up to 230, and well, because you've done that, Resurex, you now only have 1 push once your 2 spawners come up. Where is it going to be? Is it A or is it B? We have no idea. 10 points to go. It's got to come in soon.
Has to come here and now. It's going to be B. They're hitting B nice and hard. We're seeing a player positioned over towards top A. This engagement could be big. All 3 slays have gone towards Team Mysts. They're going to push themselves towards the next round. And unfortunately, Resurex are going to dip out. But what a series that was.
What an insane Strongholds game in Game 3 between Resurex and Mysts. What a series. Mysts advanced through the lower bracket there, and you can see the confirmation of the score. Do we call it a reverse sweep if it's a best of 3? Probably not, right? But if you want to, I guess it's a reverse sweep. A reverse brush, says producer Spilly. I kind of like that. You can see there Resurex taking Bizarre Flag 2-1. Mysts then took the next 2. And that was a long game of Strongholds, Richie. That was around 12, 13 minutes from my estimations. An incredible series, and what a game to end it all off. And we see Mysts advance through the lower bracket.
Yeah, Mysts get there in the end. They stumble over the line. They looked so good. They heavily outslayed them time after time, but just didn't have the ingredients that they needed, or at least the players didn't put their bodies in the line when they needed to most, it would seem. And eventually they stumble over the line, but you have to think when they play against the better teams, if you're going to play like that, you're not going to come out on the good side of things.
No, it's going to be a tough push for them throughout the rest of the lower bracket, because the further the bracket goes, the stronger teams you face. So like you say, those types of mistakes probably won't be allowed as much by opponents they're going to face further on in the lower bracket, but still great resiliency. Once you go 1 down in a best of 3, it's so tough to compose yourselves, but great performances out of Welsh Mania and the likes of Regards and everyone else on that team really pulled through, and they were the difference makers in the end, and they advance.
Advance they do, and what we'll do is we'll get the next game type and game and setup all lined up. Before we go anywhere though, remember we're doing a giveaway over on Twitter. Head over to our Twitter on Twitch or twitter.com/EuropaHalo. And be sure to check out exactly what you need to do to win an Xbox Series X console. A subscription here goes a long way. It gives you 10 entries to winning it. So you're a shoe-in, and if you're not in, you can't win. So we'll be back very, very shortly, but don't go anywhere. Welcome back to our coverage of the HCS Open Series. I'm Shersy1, joined by the lovely Wonder Boy. It's losers round 7. We have 2 more best. We basically a best of 3 and a best of 5, and then we're basically out of here. That's a lot of basicallys, Harry.
Yeah,
you have Putty Cat though.
I do. Zoe decided that she wants to watch this next series, and to be honest with you, I don't blame her, because it's going to be such a great series between 2 sets of players that we know can play at the top level, and it's going to be a really interesting affair. It's almost a bit of a shame, Richie. This one is a best of 3 instead of a best of 5. This is the last round of best of 3s before we go into our decider for who makes the top 8. But it's very, again, it's a shame. It's a shame it's not a best of 5, because I would happily see these 2 teams go the distance.
Yeah, it's safe to say that these two teams are good enough to make top 8 in any one of these tournaments, but unfortunately, the way the brackets shook out, they find themselves facing off here, and game 1 is going to be live fire oddball. It's going to be the first time we see oddball on stream here.
Yeah, I'd love to see live fire oddball. I think it's one of those game types where, again, spawn manipulation is absolutely key. And players are kind of starting to figure out now, if you spawn players in a certain area but you damage them too quickly, it can actually force a bit of a split spawn. So that's exactly what you don't want, because that creates chaos. And if anyone's seen The Witcher Season 2, you know chaos is not a good thing. So you definitely want to make sure that you're controlling the spawns wherever possible, and hopefully we can see a nice clean game between these two.
Chaos is only good if you learn to control it. And which one of these teams have been able to do that better than one another? Here we are then. Losers, round 7, game 1. Oddball on live fire. Couple of trades go down. Jersey 2 and Blackjack pick up the opening kills. It's going to be man advantage in their favor. For now, 4 dead for We Know the Secret. That should result in some ball time and perhaps a power up.
Yeah, great start to the game from Whysingleelim. You still have another couple of seconds until that power-up spawns up on the map, but all the while, ball time is going in their favor as well. So an ideal start. You have Jersey 2 here, Camouflage and Heatwave. He can start to slay out. You can see in the kill feed 2, make it 3 kills now go in the favor of We Know the Secret. That's going to actually flip the setup entirely. So bit of a shame there that Jersey 2's teammates weren't able to control a little bit more, but either way, a decent start in terms of power weapon control.
Behind the ball carrier here gets the elimination as well. Behind enemy lines on Hollers. Receives a little bit of damage. Wisely decides to live the fight another day. Hollers and his teammate throw the ball off. That's going to be a full reset. Blackjack picks up a double kill. That's a great play ball by the boys on We Know the Secret, just to reset the map just a touch.
Exactly that. You want to reset the map wherever you can. You'll see this at the top level so often. Just small chunks of time, and then you see the reset come in. So the difference maker in these types of games, as we see some complete melts here from Jersey 2. The bank shot coming through for the double. 3 down for We Know the Secret. And it's going to be a 3rd here as well. This man is running riot on the map right now. It should allow one of those big chunks of time that I was alluding to just before this crazy spree that Jersey 2 went on. You can get a big chunk of time when you get big plays like that on the map.
Jersey 2 yet to register a death at the moment, although his teammates have fallen by the wayside around him. He needs to get back in within touching distance of them to make sure they can get some more ball time. Camouflage, though, is going to come up. He's going to get his hands on it, but not long enough to pop it into his chest. And ball time now for We Know the Secret, as well as Camouflage and Heatwave.
Yeah, going to be a lead change to go along with that as well. Vexus holding the ball while Talek and Co slay around him. He's seen his teammate spawn at tower. I love this rotation. You want to always move the ball towards your teammates. I mean, that goes without saying, but if you have a teammate over there, you know the enemy is not going to be spawning there. Do they know about Blackjack, though? We saw him through the wall. Are they going to know about this immediate low tower flank? Just keep an eye on what Vexus does with the ball here. The ball beatdowns faster than the gun. Buck 20, see you on the death screen. But Blackjack killing his teammate means that ball has to be played. A good chunk of time, though. 22-point lead.
Hybrid also falls to join Blackjack in the respawn screen. Buck 20 spawns back up and gets a little bit of revenge onto Vexus. Cypher position top middle, just on that railing, has a little bit of a hate glitch as well. Has to be more aware of the player, maybe going behind them towards those brute nades. But ball in hand now. It's been scrappy all the while here, Harry. You've seen them trade back and forth in slays, but very close in the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, interesting to see Buck 20 there. Just drop the ball. His head gets taken off by Cypher. Welcome to the game, Cypher. He's been, I was going to say quiet up until this point, but 9 kills leading the game, actually. And he's going to leave that sniper for a teammate while he gets ball time. Love this play. Just going to call that out to a teammate to come and pick it up. He's even going to ping it, just in case his teammates don't know the French word for sniper. Blackjack, though, with an early push on the tower. Once again, not the first time from Blackjack there, cancelling the setup out for We Know the Secret, but a decent lead now for the red team.
Hollers has fallen off the map, but he has played the ball. Jersey 2 hits the respawn screen, killed by his fellow compatriot in Vexus. Camouflage about to pop here as well. Sniper rifle in control, and we do have, unfortunately, a lag out on the side of We Know the Secret. So With the way the rules go, I think they have to play this out. There's not going to be a reset. That's going to be a heartbreaker for We Know the Secret. They've been playing so well.
Yeah, Holler's there. Maybe that contributed to why he fell off the map, because maybe he just, again, disconnected from the game, but the game thought he was still in, and, well, he just walks off the map. It's a bit of a shame, for sure, but as you say, the rulebook states they have to keep playing, so play to the whistle in this type of scenario. Jersey 2 with a double will make things a lot easier, as Talik is last alive. But yeah, big shame. We wanted to see this one go the distance, but looks like We Know the Secret now will be, again, like a horse with 3 legs, as Holler's unfortunately lagged out.
This has been an issue for Hollers. I've seen it creep up in scrims as well as PC. Just isn't able to handle it. Only really good enough for Minesweeper. And he's going to have to try and get himself back in this game to be an influence on the scoreline. We Know the Secret, playing so well, trading back and forth with Whysingleelim. But unfortunately, hardware is going to be the detriment, at least here in round 1 of game 1.
Well, this is it, Richie. If there's a time for you to have a crash or a lag out, it's... well, surely it's in oddball, because you can throw away this first round as long as you keep it scrappy and try and play out the first round for as long as you can. It gives your teammate that's lagged out or crashed time to rejoin the lobby. So this is exactly what I expect We Know the Secret to do. Sure, this first round's probably gone at this point, but try and keep killing the ball carrier. Give your teammate as much time as possible to get back in the game with this unfortunate crash. But it looks like we'll be heading into round 2.
There we have it then. In unceremonious circumstances, game 1, or round 1 rather, will go the way of Whysingleelim in fortuitous circumstances. Can they get Hollers back in the game for round 2? That's going to be the question on everybody's lips. And only time will tell. But what you're hoping here is that game 2, we don't see a similar thing for Hollers and another lag out, because that could be a heartbreaker and a real momentum killer, and they'll find themselves eliminated.
Well, he's back in the game, Richie, so sure, they're down a round, but it's redemption time now. If you're Hollers, you can play with a bit of fire in your heart and say, look, lads, my bad. My hardware was the issue there, but we're still in this game. We're still in this game 1. So, as I said, if there's a game to lag out in, it's got to be oddball, because you give yourself as much time as possible to get back in the game and still be an impact. New power-up on the map really soon. You can see Talik here. Interesting fact about him, he was actually a member of the first ever FaZe Halo team. I see a lot of the social media saying, oh, FaZe's first Halo team. Rah, rah, rah. No, FaZe France, boy. 2014. Talik was the captain. So he is definitely a player to look out for. You can see often they'll try and get the snipe in his hands because he's renowned with that weapon. The BR's not bad either. 4 down for We Know the Secret. He's going to pass ball off, and here we go, Richie. He's about to put on a show with this weapon.
Buck 20 has the ball snipe rifle past the blackjack, and he's clocking in and going to work. Hits the body shot. That's going to be enough damage put down to back that player back in towards that house area. As he retreats to garage, a little bit more safety. 2 players set up towards this sandbags and mangler area. It might be a top middle, and sandbags push over towards those dummy nades. Ball carrier is going to go down. Talik punches a hole straight through that defense, and Jersey 2 the last man alive, but Ball in control of We Know the Secret.
How on earth does Talik there, as last alive, get 2 kills and get away with the ball? That is absolutely insane from him, and has done enough to keep this one scrappy here in round 2. If you're just joining us, you can see the standard Halo Infinite overlay glitch. This is 1 round to the good for blue team. Red team yet to score a round, so just be aware of that going forwards. Talik, though, again, is just trying to play his life here, Richie. He's trying to contest the new ball here as well, but 2 down for Whysingleelim. Could be difficult for them to try and get any ball time.
Talik is a player that I've always respected. Halo Infinite seems to work well with his skills. Very, very good Halo 3 player, and his skills have transitioned very nicely over towards Halo Infinite. Be interesting to see how his career does trend upwards, or is he happy with where he's at right now? Vexus, though, former member of the Halo 5 Pro League, teamed with, actually, Buck 20. Can he get the better of his former teammate here? Blackjack gets a kill. It trades out Jersey 2's initial death. 2 members down, though, for Whysingleelim, and a considerable points tally advantage to We Know the Secret.
Yeah, they're getting so much time with what appears to be so few slays. I mean, the slay differential not that bad at all. but the time differential is absolutely huge. They're not going for the ball guy here at all. 69, that's nice, to 16. And Hollers and Talik last alive for WeKnowTheSecret. They're not in a position to contest the new ball, but honestly, with this healthy a lead, you don't need to be contesting the ball all the time. You can almost play Slayer at this point and make sure your team gets control.
2 members down then. WeKnowTheSecret in the respawn screen. Jersey 2 adds a 2 more to that complement. 4 dead. Ball in the hands now of Jersey 2. Positioned over towards tower. This is where we're seeing ball set up for the last little while. They haven't brought it towards that garage area. That's where we've seen many setups going down. Tower hasn't really been fruitful for Whysingleelim. They seem to get the setup broken very easily, and it's happened here once more.
No, oftentimes you'll see early round gameplay go towards the tower with the ball because, again, you can reset that time. You can get the ball off the map and almost reset the map if you get pushed so far out. But that's a lovely shot from Vexus. He's going to try and get the double here on Buck20, his old teammate. He does just that, and he's in a great position as well. Not only for the triple,
Give
but
him
also
the over.
the new power-up. Misses the no-scope. Can he get the overkill?
Yes, he
You
gets
know
it.
he can. 5 in a row. Has snipe. Has the power-up as well. Vexus, his team's about to win the round.
Vexus taking this round by the scruff of its neck. He's helping his team secure it. Tie up this oddball game. Buck20 trying to give him the wiggles. Camouflage, though, is going to help him come out on top in that particular engagement. Sniper rifle still in his hand. Still 4 shots of ammunition in the magazine to play with as well. Time heavily in their favour. They can just play for slays here and pick up some scrappy time. Heatwave trade-off. I like this from him. Spots Jersey 2. None the wiser of his position. Jersey 2 tries to get that ball back, but through the crack of the door, Vexus makes sure he puts him to the respawn screen. 2 dead now. Could be 3. Is 3. Blackjack, last man alive.
Threading the needle with that shot on Jersey 2, and it might be the dagger as well. 94 and ticking here for WeKnowTheSecret in round 2. This would force a round 3. Again, the overlay is glitched. We are going to a round 3. This round would win game 1 here in losers round 7.
Here we go then. The winner of this round will take game 1. We're through the eyes and ears of Buck20. What can he do to turn his team's fortunes around? He's had an off day by his very high standards as Buck20. Lovely grenade though, sends it straight through to Cypher, who loses his life. Scramble down towards these dummy nades though, and Vexus is also going to die to the hands of Buck20. He's going to retrieve ball and send it back towards garage.
Yeah, this is where you want Buck20. You want him getting kills and then getting ball time. So, as you say, had a bit of a slow day himself, but could maybe get a double here. He's interesting. He's not just going straight in with that, with the BR there. I mean, he tried to repulse the grenade back towards Talik, but any other day with Buck20 a bit more confident, you'd see him fly in there and get the double. Blackjack does have the sniper, but he's pressured so heavily by WeKnowTheSecret that he will go down. Not sure exactly who it is that's picked up that new sniper. And it looks like it's going to be Vexus, who was on an absolute tear at the end of round 2. Continuing it here in round 3.
Grenade goes down. Takes that player down to no shields. Gets the cleanup as well. Sniper rifle has transitioned over towards a Dutchman in hybrid. What can he do? Give his team some sliver of an advantage. Gets 1 kill. That's going to help. Perfect 4 shot into the back. Gets a no scope as well. Onto Cypher. Tries to line up Talik. It's not going to connect this time around. Lovely grenade down and sends him off. Goodbye. See you later. Sayonara.
I honestly was so surprised he was letting Talik move towards the ball like that, but Hybrid had the master plan. Repulsor so lucky not to send the ball flying as well. That's going to be a huge chunk of time and a lead change now for Whysingleelim. You can see in the kill feed kills going in their favor, but Buck20 and Blackjack falling to Cypher means Hybrid has to play the ball. Great play from him though.
Play ball, heat wave in the hands of Jersey 2. Going to lose his life to the Frenchman in Talik, former FaZe captain, as Harry mentions earlier in the game. Shots go down though onto Blackjack. He's going to make sure he gets a kill. 2 dead momentarily then for WeKnowTheSecret, but they answer back and they send Blackjack, Buck20, excuse me, to the respawn screen. Vexus is also going to lose his life in this little skirmish down bottom middle. It's very scrambly at the moment and only separated by 2 seconds, these teams.
Yeah, it's real scrappy at this point in time. Two players having a great game from either side. It's got to be Vexus on one side. You can see him leading the Slays, but also Jersey too. Though he's not showing it in this round, is having some great spells of damage dealing as he often does. Hybrid leading his team in kills as well. But right now the impetus is on Whysingleelim. They need to break this garage setup. Can lead to a lot of time, but the problem with this is if they're not pushed out far enough and they lose the first kill, with Sniper coming up now as well, they could lose that weapon. Great kill onto Blackjack there, and he's going to supplement it with more time, but the question is, where's the Sniper gone? If it's gone into Hybrid's hands, then, well, you've got a problem on your hands now if we know the secret.
Jersey 2 snuffs out Vexus, desperately trying to tuck tail and stay alive, turns that single into a double and makes it a killing spree as well, getting all the medals now decorated on his chest, but is it going to be enough to make sure his team can get the win in this round? 43 seconds, they're about to take the lead, and they have a little bit of a setup towards back garage, but they need to hold it here and now. Camouflage going to be another 10 seconds or so.
Fourth lead change of this round 3. This is going back and forth. And of course, if you're We Know the Secret, you'll feel a little hard done by because of the Hollers lag out in the first round, but 3 down. They're pushing very foolishly at this point. And with 10 seconds to go until Camouflage, kills here are absolutely vital. Jersey 2 with his 4th in a row, I believe. 1 away from a killing spree. And this fight on Hollers is huge.
Ooh,
well, I
Frenzy.
said killing spree, Richie. I actually meant killing Frenzy. And this is what you want if you're Whysingleelim. Let this man off the chain and get him going and firing behind enemy lines.
He just excels when he's on broadcast. Loves the spotlight, getting those kills, recognizing now not above picking up the ball either as his teammate has the camouflage. Love this from him, playing the objective now despite how heavily he's outslaying the other team on that killing frenzy, but he's prioritizing the W, prioritizing getting those wins. 3 dead now momentarily. Vexus the last man alive on scoreboard. He's also going to join the rest of his team. They've scored points. Game 1. Whysingleelim.
That is a dominant round 3 performance from Jersey 2. I highlighted he was having a great game. Had a bit of a slow round 2. Wonder if that's why maybe we saw them just not get out the gates as fast as we anticipated them to in that round 2, but it doesn't matter. There's the confirmation coming up real soon. Whysingleelim are 1 game away from moving on in the lower bracket and being 1 game away, 1 round away I should say, from booking their place in Wednesday's Pro Series, Richie. This is what this is all about.
Redemption time now. Slayer on recharge. Last time they were 4 kills away from punching their ticket very close to top 8. They fell down. Book 20 had a game to forget. Now is the time for him to bounce back and answer those critics. He hasn't got the game time with these other players, but he definitely has the experience. We're seeing confirmation there. Jersey 2 is going to restart. Playing so good seems to have broke his PC. That's to be expected. Harry, something you said is, in that last round, you said he's had a bit of a slow start, although he's having a great game, and as soon as we switched to his POV, he lit up the competition.
I just know what Jersey 2 is like as a player. He's a real diamond in the rough, man. He's been messed around by a few teammates here or there, but honestly, it's undeservedly because he's such a strong slayer. Looking forward to seeing his future in the European scene. But we saw from the damage dealt there, he was top of the charts. Vexus was hanging on there. But one thing I will say, something we didn't really pick up on, Blackjack had 24 assists. He was really leading the pushes. He was often first in, being that kind of wrecking ball type player. And it was leading the pushes. So impressive to see there from Blackjack coordinating the team and more importantly, his teammates playing around him.
Blackjack being what you might call an entry fragger in other games, going in there, doing as much damage as he possibly can. I was watching these guys scrim, and something they spoke about with one another is that they're almost at times over communicating to one another, and everything gets lost in translation, and everyone's trying to get their information out as quickly as they can. So something that they said they were going to work on was having only 1 or 2 players speaking at one time, and that was going to be Book 20 and Jersey 2 dictating the way the play is going to go, and then Blackjack and Hybrid would only ever chime in when there was real stress situations that callouts needed to be killed.
Yeah, that communication can often be the difference maker in games like those. I will say, though, some real promise shown from We Know the Secret. So unfortunate that the lag out came in round 1 in game 1. I am looking forward to seeing how they bounce back here in game 2. Yes, this is a best of 3 and they're 1 defeat away from elimination. But the way that Talik and Cypher were playing together in round 1, especially before the lag out and in round 2, and Vexus, I think they're going to bounce back in a big way here in game 2, which is a little worrying, I think, for the guys on Whysingleelim.
Well, game 2, if we want to highlight a player, it was pretty close. I think 80 or so seconds to 30. And then we see Vexus just absolutely pop off, gets the sniper rifle, and gets himself an overkill, and kept building on that as the game slowly did go on. And he's going to be a huge factor in whether this team can be successful. And you talk about that French connection in Cypher and Talik. They've been so good, and they're such difficult kills at times as well, which can be huge in the Slayer.
Yeah, and one thing that we haven't really seen so far, it's Recharge Slayer, right, in game 2, if I'm correct in saying that. Shock Rifle, when put into the hands of someone who is more than capable of using it, can be such a detriment to the other team, because even if you don't hit those headshots, which is a guaranteed kill, you're still going to do decent, at least half shield damage, which will stop the pushes. On a map like Recharge, it's very similar, in my opinion, to Lockout from Halo 2. If you're weak, you can't push a certain area because you're just going to get picked off. If you have a player like Talik or a player like Cypher who gets that shock rifle, starts chaining that damage across teammates who are trying to push, say, I don't know, across control to elevator or through long haul, whatever rotation they're trying to make, if Talik's hitting those headshots or even hitting those body shots to take those players down to half shields or make them weak, it's going to be such a difficult time for the opposition. So that's something I want to keep an eye on here in game 2.
Something that we're seeing as well, in particular when it comes to setups on this map, is if you can get that shock rifle player positioned in those pipes and stop anybody pushing over towards top or bottom mangler, that could be a real recipe for success, Harry.
Yeah, it really can, and controlling those power positions on the map is going to be so vital here on Recharge. Not only for, as you say, to prevent rotations from the enemy team, also getting the camouflage, getting free range of the map for those weapons and items that you need to succeed. So we're going to be seeing that a lot here in game 2. We'll see who comes out on top.
Here we go then. Game 2, Recharge Team Slayer. Jersey 2 is the first man to fall. Unfortunately for him, Book 20 and Blackjack are going to join him very quickly. 3 kills to 1, the advantage for We Know the Secret. Not the greatest of starts for Whysingleelim, but it's exactly what the doctor ordered for We Know the Secret.
Yeah, you're so right. That's what you need. You want an early start. If you're Whysingleelim now, you start to slow the game down and regroup and start to push just like this. I love the body system being put in effect with Jersey 2 and his teammate here. They just need to find out where Talik is, and it's exactly as I said. Put the shock rifle in the hands of Talik and let him try and go to work. The remedy to that is double pushing him. Jersey 2 there takes him down, and Hybrid, who was working with him, now has the shock rifle. Needs to be worried about these 2 players pushing long haul. Love how he's just turning around. He's turning his tail and running again back to Jersey 2. Buck 20's here as well. So this is really smart play, playing his life with such gusto here. And if he gets a kill for his efforts as well, which he should do there on Vexus, he still has this shock rifle to use. Finally taken down by Cypher, but great life there from Hybrid.
Hybrid playing his life expertly there. We're seeing Cypher just tiptoeing his way around this battle edge area on the shock rifle spawn now. He is getting hit by that grenade. Only a sliver of shields taking away, and with the changes made to this game, no hit markers, so there's no guarantee that they know he's there. Shots go down. Jersey 2 makes sure he hits the shock rifle shot, switches to the battle rifle, and he's had a hot start already. 5 kills and only 1 death.
You see the wiggles there from Jersey 2. We love to see it. He's feeling himself as well with these no-scopes. Great time to get kills on the map as well, because 10 seconds until camouflage. Would love to see Jersey 2 get himself in a position where he can either see top control or try and contest camo, but looks like Vexus is just going to grab camo completely uncontested. That's so strange from Whysingleelim. Guess they're just banking on hoping to the player with camo in the end. No scope can't connect for the double, but a lovely headshot should be good enough. Vexus should still be alive on the map with camo. In fact, if you see in the kill feed, he's just traded himself off. So in the end, Whysingleelim happy to just allow the camouflage to go the other way, just relying on their trades.
Blackjack caught in no man's land there. Tried to chase Talik around the corner, and then before he knew it, he was the man being chased. Very much cat and mouse at times. They have this pipes push now. Book 20. 2 players taking down the no shields. He prioritizes the one with the sword. I'm not angry at that one bit. Talik picks up, with the help of his teammates, a couple of kills. Blackjack the last man alive as Whysingleelim now come off the respawn. We're all tied up 15-15.
15-16 now as Blackjack goes down. And I mentioned before, this map reminds me a lot of Lockout. Similarly, it will slow down in such a way as Lockout used to. 16 to 15 again. Little to no movement and damage on the map. You can see here, Talik with the sword wants to try and bait players into close range
three
fights,
dead.
but look at that. 3 down, Blackjack with a double, Hybrid with 1 as well. The important thing now, don't funnel into that sword elevator, because that's going to just undo all of your hard work. 25 seconds till camo, Richie. That should be the next port of call for both of these two teams.
Both these teams now need to prioritize staying alive. Shock Rifle has transitioned over towards Blackjack. Can he sizzle off some faces? Hybrid gets a kill. Shersy 2 also complements that with another, as Hollers hits the respawn screen before being traded off as Shersy 2, but Hybrid answers back once more. Trades going in their favour. Camouflage about to pop completely uncontested. Last time around, WeKnowTheSecret was able to pick it up, although Vexus wasn't able to do much with it. We're seeing it being contested heavily now this time around. Shersy 2 gets that kill onto Vexus, but unfortunately pays the price with his life. We're seeing him scamper away now, but has Cypher got that camouflage? Let's turn our attentions to him.
I think it was either Cypher or Shersy 2, or even Vexus, who was bottom middle there, who grabbed the camouflage. So I'm pretty sure it's been burned as all of those players went down. So realistically, you're looking at this 25 to 21. You have Hybrid with Sword, who should be traded out here by Talik. It's looking fairly healthy for Whysingleelim. You just don't want to funnel into this man with grapple and sword, but he's missed the clamber there. Could be difficult to recover from, but he's done so. He's not panicked, so now it's about trying to claw back these 2 kills that you're down by, and again, set up in another minute's time for the new camouflage.
Hollers and Talik, the last 2 men alive, but they have got a sword and shock rifle respectively. Book 20 is trying to make that push over towards top catwalk. He has to have that information, and perhaps it's not safe to do so. They do not have to push WeKnowTheSecret here. They have the slaying advantage. They can bait the pressure on. They can stand still and allow WeKnowTheSecret to blink first, to make that first mistake. A bit of a standstill here. It's slowed down to a crawl. Like Harry said it would, Hollers has gotten 1 kill, but he's dropped the sword in the process. Hybrid here now, position toward top control, puts down that damage. Talik, though, has to retreat, but Blackjack has fallen. He will be popping back up in 6 or so seconds now. 26 kills now, 29. Oof. Headshot by Talik, whips the face right off of Blackjack. Sword, though, coming through. Hybrid's going to whiff that one. He might whiff the death. If he doesn't, he gets it. How pivotal that might be.
Pivotal, because again, many players from WeKnowTheSecret going down right as the power-up comes up on the map. Not sure who's grabbed it from Whysingleelim. It might even be Blackjack, who we just saw win a fight, but that's some huge timing on those slays. We talk about it so often. It's now a 7-point swing thanks to those kills right as the power-up's coming up. You gotta time your slays wherever possible. And oh no, Cypher has no idea that Blackjack is there. Someone get this man some new headphones, because the shield recharge came off, but Cypher just was not aware to it.
His name is Blackjack. Maybe he needs to rebrand to Backwhack as he puts Talik, or Hollers, excuse me, in the ground. Perhaps that hardware malfunction might have been his audio on the break. We're seeing 35 kills now. They start just to pull away a little bit. 7 kills now. The distance and the difference between these two teams. And I like how Whysingleelim are playing this. Really patient. Prepared to slow the game down at a moment's notice. They know they've done enough here. Sword though is going to charge towards that player with the shock rifle. But now all of a sudden they have the goodies and a 4-kill deficit.
Here we are then with Hollers. 45 until the next camouflage. So if you're Whysingleelim, do you slow this down? Do you speed it up? What's the play here? You certainly don't want to give too much away in terms of where you're playing, but I think with this damage from Hollers, they're going to know they're pretty much trapped at Turbine and trapped over by C. Just want to make sure they don't manage to spill out somehow through the repulsor tunnel. That's the one thing you're worried about, and you can see Vexus there going for a flank through the wall. Buck 20 has this player to worry about. It's a trade. That should do pretty nicely, but Well, we swap to Vexus, who got shoved off the map by Blackjack's Repulsor, and he's trying to bait Hollers down here. Hollers wisely knows the Repulsor's in play, so doesn't want to chase him too much. This is great play from Blackjack playing his life, but new camouflage has popped Richie. Not sure which way it went.
New camouflage. We'll have to try and track that down if we can. Hybrid, though, getting damaged in the back. Camouflage in the chest of Talik. What can the Frenchman do? 2 kills down here. This could be huge. Game-changing opportunities here. He has the possibilities and the chance to turn this game around. Jersey 2 is going to be the first man to fall, but Vexus has been traded out.
Whoa.
And a big trade. Book 20 takes down the camo player in Talik.
It's not even a trade. He's still alive and still killing. Triple from Buck 20. Don't even try and go for the over. Just zip out of there, Spider-Man. So close to getting away, but that's a huge impact triple from Buck 20. The problem is, you're down in numbers now. That's a great grenade from Hybrid. But the kills are just being clawed back slowly but surely by WeKnowTheSecret. Only a 1-kill game now.
A 1-kill game, all tied up. Vexus gets the better of Book 20 in a very, very pivotal 1v1. That's going to put the point advantage now over towards WeKnowTheSecret. Whysingleelim, they need to slow these deaths down.
42 to 41. You do not want to be an easy kill at this stage of the game. WeKnowTheSecret are in a prime position. They have the lead. They have bottom middle here with Vexus. He could stay here, Richie, for 30 seconds if he wanted to for that next camouflage. But instead, they're just feeling out the map. I love this. It's just, they're going to try and speed this game up. Talik does get killed, but Vexus, he knows he has the advantage in this fight, so he's going to put the pressure on, set the cat amongst the pigeons with 10 seconds to go until camo.
We've seen Jersey 2 caught with his trousers down, trying to scamper in towards control to help his team over towards that back sword area. Talik gets the kill onto Book 20 and 2-kill advantage. Camouflage is going to go, but isn't going to get popped. 2 kills a difference, and Camouflage is still down bottom middle.
This could define the game. 46 to 45. Time ticking down. Jersey 2 in a big fight. Has Blackjack for help as well. It's a 3-on-3. Insane at the bottom of the map. 48 to 47. A lead change. Where is the camo?
Where has the Camouflage player scampered away to then? We know he's around somewhere. There he is. It's going to be Book 20 with the game in his hands, only needing 1 kill. I like this though. The game has slowed down once more. He's waiting for that Mangler, and he has picked it up.
They could play time.
There's that last man. It's going to be Jersey 2 who gets the shock rifle headshot to close out the game. And he's been doing it all series long. Jersey 2 puts the final nail in WeKnowTheSecret's coffin. They go through. It's a clean sweep on paper, Harry, but it wasn't easy.
Well, bloody G. What a series that was. I said at the start of the series, Richie, I would love to see this be a best of 5 because I could watch these two teams go at it all day long. But Whysingleelim come through in the clutch. I said they could play the time because there's only 1 minute left and they had a 2-point lead. They had the map control as well. But such a great play from them to get Jersey 2 in a position to make the play. He's been wanting to prove for so long on the European scene that he is that guy to make the play. And he came through with the ice and wins the series.
Ice in the veins, passes that test with flying colours. And we also have to talk about Book 20. Although the score might not represent how good of a game he had, there was some huge pivotal moments that Book 20 had. That triple kill alone could have changed the destiny of that game. So great plays out of Alex to bounce back after that early disappointment. But now they have one more series. It's going to be a best of 5. They have it all to do here to punch their ticket towards Wednesday's Cup. We're going to take a short break as we get those lobbies all lined up. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to our coverage of the HCS Open Series. I'm Jersey 1, and for one last time, one last series, that man to my right is Wonder Boy. Harry, we've got a huge series on our hands here to solidify someone's chances of making it to the Wednesday Cup.
Yeah, this is it. It's the last dance, so to speak, the last chance of qualifying for the Pro Series. They'll join the big boys like Ascend, Na'Vi, Quadrant, who all had fantastic tournaments over in Raleigh. You have the likes of Mockit, HMLA, I guess they're called now, or Bing Chilling, whatever they're going with. You have the likes of the boys as well in there. So you have your chance now to muscle your way in to that top 16 in the Pro Series on Wednesday, and a chance to really make your name for yourself. This is it. This is the best of 5. You win this, you're in Wednesday.
Okay, let's talk about the teams then. One team we've already seen quite a lot of is going to be Whysingleelim, but we haven't seen on stream so far is Almighty. This is a French roster of RSA, Cali, Crystallix, and Shad. What way did we see this shaking out? It's going to be Aquarius CTF here, Harry.
It's a difficult one, I'll be honest, for the guys on the other side, because Almighty are a great team. Shad is a player that, honestly, whenever I play in matchmaking, just seems to get the better of me all the time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the French squad in Almighty come across and come out of the gates firing. I said it before, I'll say it again, Richie. Aquarius flag is the perfect start to a series, in my opinion, and Hybrid has kicked things off very quickly indeed. 2 kills for him, and Blackjack makes it 4 dead for Almighty.
What a start that is then. 4 dead, all coming off the respawn, spawning over towards that fridge area, trying to play a little bit of defense. It's something we're seeing from Cali is sitting on top of that fridge, but they're relaying this flag back immediately. 2 more members go down, trying to be cut off at the car side, but Blackjack makes sure he says no. What a start this is from the boys on Whysingleelim.
Yeah, 4 dead again for Almighty. Blackjack with the spinning elbow to stop the player, trying to backsmack him while he's running flag. An ideal start, and thanks to that second wave of 4 dead. I mean, Almighty haven't got a kill on the map yet. They are all goosing. What is happening here, Almighty?
Blackjack takes his armband off and slaps a taste right out of Almighty's mouth. Still yet to register a kill all the while here. Second flag being ran back. They're being ran straight through here.
Crystallix finally on the board for Almighty, but that's a killing spree for Blackjack. Shad joins him in the kill column now. Big fight to win. If you win this fight,
Cali.
you get the touch. Cali goes down. Jersey 2 with the run. This should be 2-0.
Cali is down. Going to be some grenades heading towards that closet area. Some shots being sent away to recover any sort of damage being received. And that's 2-0 within the blink of an eye. I don't think I've seen an Aquarius CTF game go this quickly.
Yeah, 2 flags in under 2 minutes. This is what feels like the 3rd player from Whysingleelim on a killing spree. Camouflage in 5 seconds. So if Almighty get the map control back under their belts here and grab the camouflage, that's a potential route for them back into the game. And just as I say that, RS8 realizes that too. We'll see what he can do now with this camouflage.
And here he goes then, creeping down towards that fridge area. Not really a place you want to push too often as you do. 4 spawns towards back flag, particularly if your team is over towards that closet area, which they are. But they've got 3 dead here momentarily, as Jersey 2 is the latest man to hit the respawn screen.
Oh.
RSA picks up 2, putting that camouflage to good use now with the 4 perfect crispy shots, and perhaps here Almighty will restore some sort of parity and get a flag on the board of their own.
Well,
defense coming through here from Blackjack, putting through the wiggles, but RSA is still behind enemy lines, and that flag hasn't been punched in yet.
no, Hybrid across the map with a huge stick, and I tell you what, RS8 needs to go back here and help his team, because the spawners, they're going to be spawning out. Look at this return coming in as well from Jersey 2. RS8 thought his teammates for sure had that covered, but once again, it's Whysingleelim with the overextension of dreams to get the return. Unbelievable. That should have been a double cap for Almighty, but instead it's still 2-0.
We're seeing this and happen in Halo Infinite quite often, is that you have to really come back and relay the flag with your team. You can't play it like Halo's gone by, looking for those back-to-back, getting greedy with those flag caps. You have to make sure you secure the 1, and that's what we've seen there from RSA, trying to get greedy, trying to get a 2-for-1 meal deal, but unfortunately, they end up with nothing.
Well, I mean, you can't really blame him, because you think when you have 3 players in their flag, you're getting fresh slays, you've taken down Blackjack, you've done your job. Your 3 teammates just have to deal with, what, 2 overextenders? They weren't able to do that. What a fantastic play from Whysingleelim, and that will frustrate Almighty. They should have map control now, though. Oh, I say that, but they're pushing Closet right as the camouflage comes up. So Jersey 2 here at top pink should be able to contest Cali, who's just picked up the camo. He sees him, but can't quite tag him. So Cali needs to try and play his life here.
Cali trying to do just that. Desperately trying to scamper away, has regained his shields and is passing that information on to his teammates as a player over towards P's side. He makes sure he gets that kill on that player with no shields. Now, looking to put damage down to that player top middle, gets the clean up. Jersey 2 looks to drop down and dance, but unfortunately it's only a 1-2 step, and that's going to be the end of Cali's life.
That's okay, though. It's a vintage dance move. It's the good foundation is the 2-step. And it actually kind of resets the map in favor of Whysingleelim. Jersey 2 was last alive, got a kill and stayed alive. So that's not too bad at all. And look at this, Crystallic's last alive for Almighty. And Blackjack is now able to think about running this flag. Where are the spawns though? If they spawn Closet, that's really unfortunate. But yeah, he's able to get through. Look at all this cover he has now. He can dodge the grenades and even drop and slay as Buck 20 goes down. Love this push from Almighty going across top middle to try and contest that flag. They should be able to get control of that return now with 3 players around it, but well, I'll tell you what, Buck 20 is doing everything within his power to make it as difficult as possible for them. Will he get a touch here?
Looks as though he's going to let this one go in favor of resetting the map and just keeping a little semblance of control while he's positioned top middle. He's getting tagged up a little bit in the back, but he's going to drop behind that player positioned on car 1, going to be Cali. Chris Lex also going to lose his life along with Shad. This is going to be another push and unrelenting pressure coming from Whysingleelim.
Just got to find RS8 here. He's milking his life so well back flag that Buck 20 is going to say, yeah, all right, fair cop. You can keep that area of the map. And, well, Jersey 2 has seen all of his teammates around him die. So Shad now has to try and find Jersey 2. He's going to be the man, and he can smell him. Smell Jersey 2 milking his life here somewhere. He's finally found him, but that's pulled Shad away from top middle, away from the new camouflage. So decent value for that life there from Jersey 2, but I think it will still be a camouflage grab from Cali.
Jersey 2 just absolutely reeking a Guinness in that flag. And Shad knew he smelled something awry. Went back to clear house. I like that play from him. Cali gets his second successive camouflage. Hoping to do a little bit more with this one than he did with the previous. As he enters now the enemy base. Can he get a flag touch? Can he turn the enemy team's attentions towards him? Yes, he can, but Buck 20 comes up big and shuts that camouflage player down in his tracks.
Well, you cannot challenge a wild buck like that. Sure, he might be a step off the meta, but the individual skill is well and truly still there. Takes the camouflage fight and wins it handedly. You'd love to see that from the old guard there. Meanwhile, flag is on the move here from Almighty. They're trying their best to try and get it forward, but, well, they haven't realised Blackjack's in their own flag, and they go 2 down as well. So, Whysingleelim here, they'll get the return, and they're running a flag of their own. This could be flag number 3.
Flag number 3 getting brought across P side by Buck 20. An interesting route he's taken there. Normally you'll see the enemy team spawn up towards that fridge area, so interesting that he's taken that path. He must have got some information that they were coming on the car side, and that's what we're seeing now. The push is coming through. It's great listening from him, but they have to just withstand this push once more. 2 dead apiece, it would seem. Will they be able to stand strong? As we've seen Jersey 2 gets a kill, and this player positioned down bottom middle. Cali's going to make sure he cleans up Jersey 2 this time, but they have the flag in. 3-0 the lead on here on Aquarius CTF.
Yeah, 10 seconds till next camo. You have to say it's got to be a camouflage grab from Almighty. Otherwise, this one is just going to be unsurmountable. You can see the hammer of Thor being thrown at Jersey 2 there, but he stays alive, gets 2 assists, and his 10th assist of the game as well. Will make it his 11th with the Wingman medal. So, camouflage grab for Whysingleelim. That, for me, Richie, is the dagger in this game. This is game 1 done and dusted for me. Although Jersey 2 gets taken down quite quickly, and I say that, the flag is on the move here for Whysingleelim. It's just going to be too difficult. All Whysingleelim need to do at this point is keep things scrappy.
3 caps the advantage now.
Flag return.
Almighty have looked good in patches, but really it was a tale of that opening start where they didn't get a kill for what felt like 2 flag caps, but they've grown themselves back into the game somewhat, made it a little bit more of a competition. Well, they're 3 dead now momentarily. Shad, the last man, positioned top middle alive. He's going to drop down, opt to play his life this time and live to fight another day. Now got a full complement of players. It's going to be a straight 4v4 dogfight, but Shad, Blackjack, also gets a kill there onto RS8. It's a struggle here for the boys in Almighty. They're 4 dead once more.
Yeah, that jump into 2 players there from Shad is so unfortunate, because if you don't have teammates there to contest with you, your life ends up becoming just like a fart in the wind, I'll be honest. So this will be flag number 4 for Whysingleelim. They do not have the slays, and Hybrid's being shot in the back here, so not a guaranteed 4th flag cap just yet. But, well, if Buck20 and Blackjack have anything to say about it, they'll do just enough to keep that flag alive, or even just try and get some slays on the board here to make things very difficult here for Almighty.
That flag run wasn't the cleanest from Hybrid. Did fumble it into a couple of doorways, and that maybe delayed his run just enough to give Cali open the door just a touch for him to stop that push. Buck20 though gets a couple of kills, double kill for him as he begins to turn his attentions towards the enemy base. Cali gets a kill on one of his teammates top middle. It's going to be Blackjack this time. He's having a really good game, currently at 25 kills and only 14 deaths with 12 assists to boot. So great game out of Blackjack, it must be said. Only a minute and 50 left here in this game, and you have to say, barring a miracle, game 1 will go the way of Whysingleelim.
Yeah, Blackjack has his handprint all over this game. Definitely the difference maker, not only with his kills, but the quality of the kills as well. To go alongside that quantity, the amount of times we've seen him behind Almighty, getting that first kill and then running the flag, has just been absolutely crazy. You can see his 2 flag captures to go with it as well. Jersey 2 really pushing the pace here with 2 kills and the flag at the halfway mark. This could be 4-0.
The crazy thing is that on the pace of it, you look at it and you go, okay, Whysingleelim, they're 2 men down. This could be trouble. Then all of a sudden, the last man is on the opposing flag. He pulls the flag, gets a couple of kills, and before you know it, there's a flag touch as well. Buck20's not done with this never say die attitude. He's going to try and pull the flag and get some more yardage.
Happy to throw that one off to a teammate as well. Does the little shortcut jump to flag now. Yeah, sure, it's out in the open, but you can just slay. You're already 3-0 up, so why not make it 4? What a dominant display from Whysingleelim. My question is now, Richie, well, it's just been answered. Will Blackjack get the 30 bomb? You know he will. 30 kills, 16 deaths. What a great game.
Blackjack rolling back the years here as he turns his attentions towards that fridge area. With help of his teammates, they get the job done here in game 1 in a resounding 4-0 fashion. Something that I didn't anticipate coming into game 1 whatsoever here, Harry.
Certainly not. Whysingleelim have just absolutely dominated game 1. And I thought a much stronger showing would come out of the French squad. I know the likes of Cali, RS8, Crystalix, and of course Shad. They're such strong players, but you can't account for Blackjack going in like that. You just can't. There's no way to plan for that.
And there's confirmation then. 4-0, the lead. And that was going to be enough for game number 1 for Whysingleelim. They're 1-0 up in this series. Slayer on Bazaar is our game 2. This is the game type which Buck20 struggled before. So maybe he can answer the demons and answer back here and now. Doesn't matter what happened before if you can do it right here, right now, Harry.
Yeah, so true. And we've seen Buck20 with huge plays, not only in that game, but also in series previous where against WeKnowTheSecret. He's starting to heat up now. And it doesn't matter which way the meta goes, as long as Buck20 still has his individual skills and he's not being singled out by the enemy team. I'm pretty sure we'll still see a strong showing here in game number 2. The worry that you might have here if you're Whysingleelim is this might be a storm in a teacups type of situation where you come out at the block so fast in game 1, but then you know Bazaar Slayer is a bit of a sticky game type for you. If you lose that one, all of a sudden you've let your opponents back in the series after dominating the first game. That's the worst case scenario for them. So that's what they're going to try and prevent here in game 2. And of course, the opposite goes for Almighty. They want to upset this team. They want to try and get a foothold back in the series, prove that they can hang, and most importantly, tie up the series 1-1.
It's an interesting point you raise. The good work, the great work that they done in game 1 can all be undone in this one banana skin Bizarre Slayer. We've seen them only lose by 4 kills before, and we talked about it. We harped on about Buck's performance, but they only lost that game by 4 kills despite the performance that Buck 20 put in. So that means that the rest of the team were doing enough to get the job done. And if Buck can make sure that he keeps his numbers nice and low in terms of the deaths, this could be a good game for them to go 2-0 up. But on the other side of things, Almighty have it all to do.
Oh, and I think that's going to be an ideal situation for Buck 20 to find himself in. I'll be honest. I think he'll be quite happy. I don't know why we have a -1 here, Richie. You've got
a -1.
This is very strange.
This is probably going to be one of those false start situations where maybe Blackjack spawned out from the rest of his team. That can be.
Did he betray a teammate? Maybe I'm not sure what's happened there, but yeah, we're going to need a
something
restart right here. And
something isn't right.
It's finally realised that he's the party leader, so he needs to end the game. As we will come back to our beautiful faces, but yeah, I think Buck 20 will be happy with that type of situation where he's had a slow performance on this game type before. He knows his teammates are going to perform consistently. I think Alex is the type of player, Buck 20 that is, that will relish that type of opportunity to try and make amends for a previous poor performance. He wouldn't have it any other way. He would much rather be the man who needs to step up because he trusts his individual ability and his experience. So we'll see if he can turn his misfortunes of previous around in this next game because, well, his team definitely need him to. He can't be another 6 and 17 performance.
Something we've seen from Whysingleelim, it was their control of the power weapons. They did a very good job of controlling the power weapons on Bizarre Slayer and the Overshield, but they weren't able to turn that into kills against the team previous. So is that something they need to work on here when they do secure the goodies, that they make sure they press home any advantages?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely on Bizarre. It's all about controlling mid-map, getting those goodies, as you say, and then putting them to use. You want to try and find those spawns as soon as you get those weapons and then just put the enemy to the sword. One thing that we have seen very well out of Whysingleelim so far this series and throughout the tournament is getting kills at the right time, around the 6-minute mark where those power items come up, where the Overshield is about to come up. You make them 2 dead, that makes their job so much more difficult trying to fight for that weapon or that item. It's so important that you do that, and it's something that Almighty might struggle with here in this next game because you don't want to be fighting an uphill battle when it comes to these power items.
Well, no false start here. This one's for real. Hybrid is going to be the man to get 2 kills. 3 dead now. Callie, the last man alive. Another horrendous... Are there control pads plugged in at the start of the game? What's happening here?
Oh, Callie there, AFK for just a moment. I think he was just maybe trying to escape with his life, but great start of the game for Hybrid. 3 kills and the Overshield. He was a player that early on struggled in Halo Infinite just because he was playing on an old PC, old hardware, whatever it was. He just wasn't getting the performance on his game. Now we're starting to see him really come into his own, and if anyone remembers the Halo 4 era Hybrid before he left to go and play League of Legends and played for G2, he was an absolute animal, and he's starting to come into his own now as well.
2 members on the opposing team have 3 kills if you're Almighty, but 2 have 0. We're seeing this game slow down to a crawl already. This is something I'm very surprised to see. No map movement whatsoever. Team's just tucking tail. Blackjack gets into a fight with Callie. He's going to back down towards double doors. Nobody there to clean it up, though. But Crystallic's not moving. This is... Or is he? He's just hiding as well. They're playing possum, it would seem, inviting the pressure on. We're seeing Buck 20 get shut down. And just like that, a very interesting start and strat, or mid-game strat, is just not move.
Well, it's smart if you think about it, because you know the enemy team have mid-map control. You know that they know where you are, so why not just wait for the push to come in and then counter it just like that from Crystallics? It's patient, but they get the kills and they pull it off, so now they can start to contest mid-map again right in time for this Overshield. So we see Hybrid go down, Shad is here, he's got grapple as well, boom, there's a free Overshield. Love to see that play. You'll see that become more and more the meta as Halo Infinite evolves. You want to be able to have that grapple to grab the power-up free as a bird. Buck 20 is lost on the map right there, and it's an easy double for Shad.
That's going to be a changing of the lead, only for a moment though, as Shersy 2 restores parity. 13 kills now to 12. Killing spree as well for Shad. Great performance out of him, but Book 20 is already starting to give away a few easy deaths. 1 kill and 4. I'd like to see him just slow it down just a little bit. Get his teammates around him. Don't want to see this spiral out of control. There's plenty of time now just to slow it down. But again, Book 20 isolated in towards that bar area. They do get 2 kills this time to trade it out. 14 to 14 apiece.
Rockets coming up real soon, Richie. That's what we got to look for next. Great steadying of the ship from Almighty. They were down 6-2. But now they are back in this game. The problem is they have not played the Rockets as well as they should have. Jersey 2 still with 1 in the chamber. Destined for Callie's feet. And he gets away with his life. Perfect play with the power weapon. And now, that, well, 1 point deficit has turned into a 2-point lead.
That thruster pack can be so strong, just resetting the fight. This time, Jersey 2 up in the using to stay alive. RSA is going to get touch tight with him, all up in his face, and that's going to be enough to get the job done. 19 to 19. Going to be an absolute brawl. Knuckle dusters out and a triple kill for Shad once more. He's having a great game, but Callie on the other side of his team, he's struggling quite hard.
Yeah, here's the Shad that seems to turn up against me every single game in matchmaking. 9 kills, 4 deaths, not too bad at all, but problem is you're on the opposite side of the map here from that power-up coming up, and considering you have both lockers controlled here, if you're Almighty, if somehow Whysingleelim come away with this overshield, it would be calamitous from their standpoint, but can't see where that one's gone. Maybe it was a burn from Whysingleelim. I think they'll take that all day long, but most importantly, Almighty, 4-point lead here. Make it 5 now.
Just like that. Cut down to within 3. Jersey 2 desperately trying to stay alive, down to just a sliver of health, and he's going to do just that. Prioritize living here. Just relay that information to his team that he's no longer in the fight. Sidelines coming down, taking that fight with Shad, getting popped down to half shields, and wisely decides this time that that's not going to be a fight he can do much in. We're seeing them push towards this treehouse. Lovely damage going down to help Blackjack get the clean up there. Book 20 also puts a kill on the board. Pillars area though, I'm liking this out of Whysingleelim. Down to within 2 kills. They're trading it all the while. Every time a team seems to close the gap, Almighty step on the gas once more. It might be the difference maker here of an overshield or rockets to separate these two.
Well, speaking of, Richie, 50 seconds until the 6-minute mark, which means both of those power items you just mentioned come up on the map. Jersey 2 playing this position so perfectly. It means Crystalix and Shad cannot move. They can't put pressure on the rest of the Whysingleelim teammates in the middle of the map. It's all well and good playing slow here if you're Almighty, but the problem is, again, you don't have mid-map for the 6-minute mark, which is what you desperately need. So Jersey 2 pinning these players in, although he's down in points, it's not the worst position to be in. Good covering fire there from Crystalix will allow his teammate to push forward, but 10 seconds till Rockets and OS. If Whysingleelim somehow don't get both of these weapons, it's going to be, I mean, it's calamitous. Jersey 2 was pinning them all in tree. Why did they push?
I was just about to ask that question. The issue, and it has to be raised. We've seen it do it. We've seen them do it to them before early in the game. They're going to sit back and wait for you to come on. Well, what you say is then, okay, we'll push you, but let's wait till the overshield and the rockets spawn up and we have the big boy weapons to push. Instead, you hand the impetus over. Callie gets the rockets. And no doubt the overshield in Shad's chest. And for no reason whatsoever, they pushed without any information. And because of that, we're now seeing an 8-kill advantage. Make it 7. In favor of Almighty. But that's twice they've made the same critical error.
It's just a lack of discipline that you see from some of the lesser practiced teams, for sure. This is arguably a pickup squad put together in terms of Whysingleelim for this tournament. 8 kills down though. You already know Almighty when you're Whysingleelim and you have mid-map, you know Almighty are going to slow things down and bait you into mistakes. Why feed into those mistakes? You got to realize the situation there at that 6-minute mark, and it may well cost them this game with 8 points, the deficit right now.
Book 20 in a world of hurt gets put into the death screen. RS8 and Shad combine on the kill feed to extend this lead now to 11. And at the bare minimum, as it stands, we'll be getting a game 4. Jersey 2 then receives some shots on the top balcony. Lovely damage coming down out of Crystal X, but unfortunately he is going to go down. But trades will do you all the live long day here. Jersey 2 desperately trying to stay alive, unable to do so. Hybrid answers back, but trades just are not going to be good enough here. You played with no discipline, and you've paid the price because of it.
Yeah.
Blackjack goes down.
You can lament Whysingleelim for the longest time for the mistakes, but you gotta credit Almighty slowing things down exactly when they needed to. The final kill is about to be punched in any moment, Richie, for us to tie up this series 1-1. Almighty slowed Bazaar down exactly as you needed to, and there is the final kill. Almighty back in this series.
All tied up then. Fantastic performance out of Almighty to recognize when they were down and set some traps for Whysingleelim, which they stepped into time and time again. Strongholds on live fire is going to be our next game as we get confirmation of the series layout. Game 1 on Aquarius CTF 4-0 for Whysingleelim. Slayer, though, as it so often does, spanner in the works. 50-37 goes to Almighty. Now we're all tied up heading into another objective game.
And remember what I was saying before game 2, Richie, if you're Whysingleelim, you don't want to lose game 2 and think that game 1 was just a storm in a teacup, because they really misplayed the 6-minute mark of that Slayer, and you can't afford to do that at all on Strongholds throughout the entire game. It's like the entire game is a 6-minute mark in Strongholds. So important that the reset comes in here for Whysingleelim mentally, because Almighty, they're going to be taking all kinds of confidence from that game. They absolutely played it to perfection. They slowed it down when they needed to. They didn't let the game get out of hand. When you think back to the opening exchange, when they lost the middle of the map, they lost map control, what did they do? They were only down 6-2, but they slowed the game down. You don't want to give away deaths at that point, because those deaths still count towards that final 50-point mark. So great mentality shown by Almighty. For Whysingleelim now, you've got to make sure that you reset coming into Strongholds.
Questions do have to be asked, it would seem, though, of Whysingleelim stepping into the trap the first time when it was 6-2, Harry, and then you see the exact same situation unfold again, but this time with even more implications on the game, because you decided to push at the 6-minute mark. They have to reset now mentally, like you say, and we are going to head into Strongholds on live fire. This could be the difference maker and the catalyst for change, and either one of these teams getting the victory here could go well within their grasp of solidifying themselves into that top 8 and pushing themselves into that Wednesday Cup.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us, this is our final game of the stream. It's a best of 5 to decide the final spot in Wednesday's Pro Series tournaments between these two teams. We're locked up 1-1. It's a great time to join us if you just are. And these two teams have been going hammer and tongs so far. I expect much of the same here, Richie, in game number 3.
Opening engagements appeared to go the way of Whysingleelim, but Chris Alex, with that little flank across top middle with the sniper rifle, made sure that they weren't able to transition that into points on the board. And now we're seeing Almighty take the lead in the game, trying to clear out this camo player, which he has done as well. Cali does take down Buck 20, unable to scamper away with his life. Faced with another opponent this time, but Blackjack won't allow this hit the same fate befall him. He gets a couple of kills, but all the time while this is scrapping back and forth, they're scoring points.
Yeah, you read my mind. You don't want to be just sucked into a bottom middle fight here if you're Whysingleelim. That does nothing towards you potentially getting control back on the map. Jersey 2 captured C, but he's forced to give that up straight away because his team all, again, were bottom middle and fighting for seemingly just trades on the map. It was an interesting situation to see. Now you have Crystallix here. with the sniper, he can just hold back tower all day long while his team run around the map and cause havoc. It's a great position to hold, Richie, because you have sightlines on top mid, you have sightlines and backstab on players like Hybrid here, who's trying to grab C. You also have sightlines onto B. Blackjack gets tagged by the no-scope. Killing spree 5 in a row now for Crystalix. Excellently played so far with this weapon.
Crystalix yet to register a death in the game, and Buck20 yet to register a kill, and those two collide on C, and it was only going to go one way when Buck20 was down a couple of shots. Camouflage, though, in the chest of RS8, and all the things that Whysingleelim need to keep their hands on are going the way of Almighty.
This is it, Richie. You don't want to let this series get out of hand at this point. You just lost a Bizarre Slayer, if you're Whysingleelim, to a pretty bad scoreline, and some mistakes were made as well. And look at Crystalix here. He captures B that entire time. They weren't able to take him out. That's going to force Jersey 2 to try and retake Cali off the respawn, I believe. Comes through, takes him out. RS8 gets a kill as well. This is so scrappily played by Almighty, but finally we're seeing some scoring from Whysingleelim. They hold A and B. But boy, was that a long streak of scoring. 78 points, essentially unanswered by Almighty.
The kills heavily in favor for the moment on Almighty, and that we're seeing that transition directly into points on the board. Pre-nade goes down. RS8 was ready for that fight, though. The Hybrid unable to turn that into a kill. Jersey 1, though, or Jersey 2 rather. I'm the one that's Jersey 1.
That's right.
Answers back with a kill. And now he's going to try and push out for his teammate. Got that sniper rifle in his hand. They're going to start the transition C in their favor. RS8 backs all the way down. Body shot comes through from Jersey 2, but absolutely obliterated by those two players positioned open field.
Yeah, just swung out wide a little bit too far there, Jersey 2. A good run of about 28 points there from Whysingleelim, but now scoring goes the other way. Just did so much damage, but swung out too wide because he didn't realize how many players were there. If you are just joining us as Almighty go 3 down and Hybrid finds himself a nice little sniper, this is a best of 5. So we still have at least a game 4 to come after this one to see who is going to join the top 8 teams already qualified for the Pro Series on Wednesday.
Lovely movement out of Hybrid. Jumps up into the clouds, and RS8 completely loses him there. Going a little bit cross-eyed, trying to track him down. I hate to keep harping on it, though. Buck20, 1 kill, 8 deaths. He's had a little bit of a struggle this series. Again, though, still time for the man, one of the most decorated players in all of Europe, to turn it around.
Yeah, I think the worrying thing when you look at Buck20's stats is not that he's just 2 and 8, but also that, I mean, combined with his assists, he's only had 5 kill involvements on the map. You either need to be bodying up with Buck20 here, or he needs to be slowing things down. Because with that high amount of deaths, you need to have a lot more kill involvement. So right now, Almighty capitalizing on that. Shad with a double, Shad with a triple, actually. And total control to go with it as well. Now it's a game of find the spawner. 134 and rising for Almighty. Lovely movement out of Shad. After solidifying that triple kill, immediately turns his attention towards those fresh spawners. Getting into a gunfight with Jersey 2 with the help of his teammate. They make sure to put Shad down this time. Cali wisely decides to back away while he's down to no shields, but Buck20 picks up a kill on the Crystalix. And that's going to open up the map just a little bit as we're seeing Stronghold transition back and forth. 2-1, the split it goes in favor of Whysingleelim. Looks as though they have a player behind them lines. It's going to be Jersey 2. Drops that drop wall. It's not going to come down quick enough, and the collapse comes through. They're going to trade A for C here. Yeah, trade A for C. The important thing for Whysingleelim is to break this momentum of Almighty, because right now it is absolutely imperious. Don't try and get too fancy with it. Just make sure you're getting your kills and playing your life as we're trying to see Buck20 do here. 3 down though for Whysingleelim. B should go over to Almighty as, yeah, Blackjack last alive tries to stay alive. But this is a commanding scoreline. Only a brief period of scoring. Although they are taking C, Richie, the reset comes through. The briefest of period scoring there for Whysingleelim. It's just so easily broken by Almighty. The pressure Almighty are
applying here is so difficult to break out of. They have momentarily got them down 3 members though. Book 20.
Wow.
Has no idea Crystalix is there, and that sort of thing when the last player alive gets a huge play like that, just to dampen the mood. Ooh, Hybrid with the sniper rifle. We have clicked onto him, just not in the nick of time as he finds the face of RS8. Now back on board with Shad. Him and Crystalix clearing out house. And now their attentions will turn towards C.
100-point lead for Almighty. This has well and truly shocked the system of Whysingleelim. It's a completely different team that we saw win the first game of this series absolutely, again, I'm going to use the term imperiously, 4-0 on Aquarius flag. This is just, I mean, they're down 100 points on strongholds. It's, there's no other way to put it. They're 3 dead again. They cannot seem to get a single foothold on the map. And it's just so well played by Almighty.
Credit has to be given to them. Shad is having back-to-back impressive games. At the moment, 18 kills and only 10 deaths with 6 assists as well. So he's having quite a lot of kill involvements. Playing extremely well. Book 20 gets a kill on the kill feed to Cali. Can that open things up a little bit? RS8 answers back onto Jersey 2 though. That's going to stop any real pressure that they have here as grenades go down, and trades and the kills again go in favor of Almighty's Jersey 2, last man alive.
And how many times have we said that? It's often been 3 down, 2 down for Whysingleelim. They just have never all been on the same page, not only mentally but also physically on the map throughout this game 3. Almighty and Shad especially leading the charge. This should be another kill for him as well. That's going to be yet another 2 down on the side of Whysingleelim. There is still time to come back in this game. Of course, the timer stops when you are scoring and contesting, so there's a chance. But right now, Whysingleelim just don't even look like a team that can put together a decent push to force that type of scenario. They'll get scoring, but where are the kills going to come in? They just need to win a team fight.
Yeah, when you look at the kills, Jersey 2 having a bit of a struggle game here, 9 and 16, and we've already harped upon the result of Book 20. And when you're putting up those sorts of numbers, coupled with the pressure that's being put on you by these French lads, it's very difficult to have any sort of semblance of success. They're going to capture a stronghold here. They're going to be scoring points, but they're going to get A, they have B, and they're going to trade out C. We've seen this time and time again, and once Almighty get to a full complement of players, we've seen the setup break almost immediately. It's been like glass. Jersey 2 though, sniper rifle in his hand. What can he do here late in the day?
So unfortunate the spawns over at B there. Jersey 2 had an idea that they were going to be there, but, well, the no-scope the second time of asking hits Shad's face. I think he was fully anticipating the open field spawns. Love this contest. This is going to be a big team fight here at A. Misses the shot, but Hybrid actually already taking C. So now things are starting to look in the control of Whysingleelim. Do they know he's here? They don't know Jersey 2's here. He gets 1. Can he get another? That would be a huge result. He does. 2v2 on the map. Can take A away from the players trying to push around to C. This is looking better now for Whysingleelim. They can start to mount somewhat of a comeback.
Every single time one team takes A, the other takes C. They'll trade all the live long day, and that's what we're seeing here. Big plays out of Jersey 2. Turn his fortunes around with that sniper rifle. Blackjack positioned over towards B. Has an enemy member to contend with here. Hasn't been able to do any damage to make this fight any easier for Jersey 2, but the grenade might do enough. It does not. Cali turns 1 into 2, and also should transition B in his control. So now they're scoring once more. They only need 25 more points.
As you say, 25 more points. We've got to see a good push coming in here from Whysingleelim. Looks like they're splitting 2 and 2, but oh no, they don't know about Shad. He's playing Halo 5 in 2016. He's got the AR out, and now, after clearing C, he can start to keep the pressure on at A. 7 points to go. They need a contest in the next 5 seconds, Richie, or this one is done and dusted.
That's a couple of occasions already that we've seen Shad play that back tower exactly like that. He plays for the information, waits to see it transition over towards an enemy team. He's caught a couple of players already. Notably, Buck 20 was caught a couple of times, and this time he made sure that it stayed in their control. 3 members positioned over towards B, controlling that, and he sits back tower waiting for a bit of movement on C. Great performance out of him. There's confirmation of how it's shaken out so far in the series. 2-1 now. The lead goes in an advantage of Almighty. Now our attention's turned towards Oddball on Recharge, but we can talk briefly about what we just seen there from the boys on Almighty. After the first objective game went so against them, they turned their fortunes around here.
Yeah, I have to commend the mental capacity of Almighty. As you say, after getting blown out in game 1, Aquarius Flag, it was looking like, 3-0. This should be pretty simple for Whysingleelim. But French Halo, man, they just don't roll over. They win Bazaar with some great calculated gameplay. And then we see the Strongholds game. We didn't see Whysingleelim wake up until around halfway through the game when we already saw Almighty on about 200 points. So Almighty they're looking almighty right here, Richie. I'm trying to figure out how many more puns I can fit in before the end of the stream in terms of team names. But well, I guess Whysingleelim are pretty grateful at this point that it's not Singleelim, because they still have another couple of games to try and force their way through to Wednesday's tournament. But as it stands, Almighty with 2 series points to convert. If they convert one of them, Richie, well, we're going to be seeing them in the Pro Series on Wednesday.
Almighty have 2 bites of the cherry here to get the job done over Whysingleelim. On the flip side, Whysingleelim have to win back-to-back games here, which they've been unable to do, it must be said. It's going to be a tough task for them here, and with the way it's going to shake out, and they were heavily outstayed in that last objective game, the pacing just seems to be a little bit off. The French able to dictate it a little bit better, and an Oddball, that spells disaster.
Yeah, it does. One thing you don't want to see is another poor performance from Buck 20. Again, we hate to highlight it, but when you are sitting with a big negative spread in terms of your kills and deaths, the next stat you look at is the assists. See how many kill involvements you're involved in. It was far behind his team as well, so he was either being singled out or his teammates just weren't buddying up with him. You need to kind of realize halfway through the game, if that's happening, you need to either slow yourself down or start to work with your teammates a bit more. We didn't really see that until around the halfway point in that game from Buck 20. So not singling him out, it comes down to the team as a whole to pick up your weakest link. You're only as strong as your weakest link, as they say. So hopefully we can see that from them here in this game for Almighty. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Get that sniper in the hands of Cali. Get the shock rifle, in the hands of Cali, Crystalix, Shad, whoever, and just start popping heads.
Let's talk briefly then about the sandbox, Harry. We talked about how on Strongholds on Recharge, the sword can be so strong in controlling top A. But something we're seeing is how strong it can be if you hold ball in pipes and you have a sword guy in there as well. It's near on unbreakable at times.
Because it's so close quarters, that area, it becomes impossible to push without a repulsor. Because you come around the corner, bam, there's a sword guy. You got to clear about 50 different corners in this area you're seeing on your screens right now. If that player's running around with a sword, there's nothing you can do. So we'll see if that comes into play here. We're straight into it. Recharge Oddball in game 4 of this best of 5. Almighty, if they win this, they're through to Pro Series on Wednesday.
Almighty then. Match point. Shad gets another kill. And how Whysingleelim need to shut him down at the earliest convenience, because he has been going off, particularly in these last couple of games. They have ball set up towards pipe, starting to rack it up a little bit as well. Cali picks up 2 in hybrid and Jersey 2. Buck 20 and Blackjack playing a little bit more passive, waiting for the team to spawn back up. And that's going to just forfeit the points advantage for now. It has to be a decent break of the setup here. They're sending some resources over towards yellow pipes just to do that, but we might now see a rotation of the ball towards control, particularly if the push comes hot and heavy through pipes.
Well, here's the thing, it's good from Whysingleelim grouping up when you know you have players down. Why bother trying to push one by one? Good win there from Shad. He'll grab sword as well. No doubt he'll be putting that ball towards a teammate, but the kill on RS8 helps them out massively. Do they know the swords here? That's the question. The back smack from Buck 20 on Shad with the sword. That's an impact kill that we want to see from Alex Buck.
Alex Buck then trying to answer the critics, starting off hot and early here. 4 kills already in the bag, 1 shy of a killing spree. Hybrid's going to opt to hold that ball. He's at a slow start, so I'm happy enough with that decision from him. They've got a little bit of a setup towards Turbine. Damage going down from Blackjack. Jersey 2 positioned over towards top yellow. And it looks as though they're going to try and clear him out. And they have done just that, but it's going to be a trade. So a 3v3 on the map for now. RS8 in a 1v1 with Hybrid. He's going to lose out on that one. And that's going to mean scoring goes towards Almighty once more.
Yeah, new camo fresh on the map as well. So Almighty with numbers should be looking towards grabbing that as soon as possible. I think Shad just maybe traded out the player who grabbed the camouflage, so no camo in play this time around, but an early lead from Almighty. We almost saw a lead change from Whysingleelim, but the setup was broken fairly quickly. They did the same thing that I was applauding Whysingleelim for. Nice double from Hybrid. Didn't quite get the triple, but gets the trade. So 3 in a row from him. This is a big 1v1 in Turbine that Cali wins. And that's going to maintain ball scoring for Almighty.
Looked as though Whysingleelim had done enough there. They got 3 dead momentarily, but somehow Cali comes out on top and makes sure it can't turn that success into any significant scoring on the board. In fact, no seconds whatsoever after breaking that setup. And now they have to do it all again. And they have to push straight into a Mangler. It's going to be a bottom catwalk push this time as damage goes through, but Shad picks up 2. Make that another kill for RS8 onto Jersey 2. This first initial push isn't going to come to much, and they only need 25 more seconds, 24, excuse me, to close out round 1.
Got 20 there, was last alive, and then as soon as his teammate spawned, he went down. So immediately this push from Whysingleelim is going to be somewhat stilted. Shad takes down Hybrid to trade off his teammate's death as well. So, well, we're 5 points away. Richie, where's the push here from Singleelim? The nade comes in to kill Shad, but it's not enough. The whole time the ball was being held, and the first round goes to Almighty.
Round 1 then. Whysingleelim are in danger here of going out on a whimper. Didn't show many signs of life there at all. After breaking the French setup, they didn't really put down any significant scoring, and their setup was broken very, very easily. Will we see their fortunes change here? An engagement goes down over towards bottom sword, but it's going to be Shad who has come out on top in more than one 1v1 engagement, who comes out on top once more and secures the sword for his team.
Sword and repulsor. So there is no counter to this man on the map right now. He needs to get this weapon over towards a close quarters area, i.e. top gold, pipes, and he's going to be untouchable until that next repulsor spawns. What you don't want to do is get sidelined by Jersey 2. Important kill right there because Shad could have gone on an absolute tear with that combo. Cali's picked it up though, I think, and he's last alive. So important that, well, you get this out of pipes, Jersey 2. You got to keep running. Run that all the way to elevator because soon enough, you're going to have a sword player trying to take you down. But I think Cali's actually died with the sword, so might not be a factor here.
Shad positioned over on pipes though, and Jersey 2 hasn't got that information in time. He's desperately trying to stay alive, but one member goes down. Make that 2. He needs to maybe drop up here and slay out. He does just that. Gets the assist, but he's getting pressured from behind him here on pipes. I love this movement from him, trying to avoid the headshots, and that's going to delay his death just a little bit longer. Ball dropped down towards bottom middle in a pretty tough spot as well. So good play out of Jersey 2 given the circumstances. It's Blackjack with some crispy shots.
Do you win that fight? Down in terms of shots and down in terms of height as well. Blackjack's still alive. 5 kills in the round so far. Finally taken down, but don't forget, that all came from the fantastic play ball by Jersey 2. Milking his life, bouncing that ball to bottom middle so Blackjack could get into that area and contest players pushing from control and elevator. They're continuing scoring here. 44 unanswered points. 2 down as well on the side of Almighty. Looking much better now for Whysingleelim.
2 down then, but they haven't got ball in hand here. They're a little bit hesitant to pick it up. You can see Hybrid doesn't quite know if he should pick up that ball, and I think you really should scrap as many points together as you can. It's only 100 points to win around. Every second here and there, it matters. Buck20 gets a kill onto Crystalex. We're seeing Shad answer back in anger. Jersey 2 onto Cali this time though. It's going to be 3v3 on the map as the ball resets.
So 2:55 left in the round. We haven't seen it often this tournament. In fact, not at all on the stream anyway. So often oddball rounds can go all the way to time. If I'm Whysingleelim, I maybe think about that being an eventuality. Just play Slayer up until that point. Blackjack has Sword. Just try and milk the time as long as you can. You have 46 points to 0. I'll tell you what, that's a great ball grab from Jersey 2, doing the objective as well. And, well, the Plasma Grenade kills RS8 there. Not sure how that happens, but now Blackjack can bait the ball with this sword. Anyone who comes around this corner is going to get a katana to the face. Can't quite get the lunge off, can't get the second either, but the third is successful. Slices Cali's nose off. Stays alive as well. All the while Jersey 2 holding the ball. Another kill for Blackjack. And well, this one could be going to a round 3.
We have Cali in the game, but Blackjack's like DJ Khaled. Another one. Another one. Cutting down his opponents. He is eventually taken down, but the damage has already been done. 73 seconds to 1. A huge advantage here. And with time very much against the French team here. They're going to desperately get their hands on the ball here. I like this from Cali. And rotate it towards Turbine. Getting pressured from behind though. Hybrid and Buck20 not able to do enough to stop this scoring. This is a situation that they've been in before, Almighty. They're going to get the break here. And RS8 desperately trying to get the kill onto Buck20, who's playing his life expertly, but didn't want that fight in the end. And we're going to see a regen of shields for RS8. And Sword comes through once more, with 3 members down now. Jersey 2, last man alive.
He does have to contend with Camouflage and Ball as well. The camo's run out, but this time it's starting to score now for Shad. As soon as they find the spawn is over at Pipes and Gold, if I'm Shad, I start to rotate this towards Control, but instead they're going to take the fight. They're going to pin them in Pipes, and, well, Hybrid going down. It's going to leave Whysingleelim with only 3 players alive for now. They're funneling in one by one here, Whysingleelim. That cannot happen. Just need to compose yourselves here. Hemorrhage 10 or 12 seconds of ball time just for the sake of pushing us 4. They get the first kill on RS8 though, so we'll see if they try and gain some territory here. Here comes the push.
And every time they make this push, the ball has to get dropped, so they're eating into the clock all the while. 2 members make that 3 dead now. RS8, the last man alive, 4 fresh dead. Crystalex is the first man up off the respawn screen, but he's got an unfortunate spawn there, Harry.
Jersey 2 just couldn't grab the ball before it rolled around the corner into the sight line of spawners, but again, 125 left on the clock. You can play Slayer at this point, but Blackjack's last alive right as the new Camouflage is coming up too. Surprised to see Cali run away from that new power-up. He could have maybe stayed down there and contested some spawners, but don't forget, this round was 78-0. It's now just a 28-point lead, and that gap, Richie, is closing.
Closing all the while. Crystalex, you can see him pinging where players are coming from. That's 2 members dead now. They're going to answer back though this time as Hybrid gets a kill, but Blackjack and Jersey 2 are in the respawn screen waiting to pop back up once more to be a factor on the map here. Now the lead down to within 10 seconds. A back whack comes through once more by Hybrid. Trade comes off though. Cali makes sure to put him in the respawn screen. Soars back out, did the Frenchman. But that could be enough. It isn't though. Ball's been reset. Crystalex has got it in his hands once more. They've drawn them all the way over towards C. It's a long trip back here.
Yeah, exactly right. Cali would be more than happy to take that fight, turn around the corner and see 2 players back on C there. Because as you say, it's so far away from the ball, and we're about to see a lead change from 78-0 to leading now from Almighty. They are just 15 points and 1 push away from securing their spot in Wednesday's Pro Series.
Just 10 seconds then away from solidifying theirself. As Harry says, They do take down Blackjack, who's been a thorn in their side. Jersey 2 getting damaged behind all these players on Whysingleelim, dropping down to their deaths, or at least to a lot of damage. Down to just 30 seconds here now. Blackjack getting shot in the back once more. Jersey 2 scampers away with the ball. Only 30 seconds left here now. 89 seconds to 86. To 85, excuse me. Ball's being dropped and play ball in effect once more.
The impetus now is all on Whysingleelim. They're the players that need to push towards that ball. They have the ball. Another lead change, 90 to 89. Now, just milk this time. You don't even need this ball. Just bait it as much as you can. 15 seconds to go. They need to contest this, Richie. They're 2 down right now. The grapple almost comes in for Cali, but they're still getting time in the ball. It stays at top goal. It does not roll down. They grab the ball. 10 seconds still on the clock. 4 seconds to go for the ball carrier. Shad scampers away with his life.
Oh my word.
They qualify for Pro Series in the most dramatic of fashions. 3-1. GG.
What a series that was. Incredible performance out of both teams. Confirmation then, we will not be going to Slayer on streets. Try as they might, Whysingleelim bow out at the final hurdle. Almighty punch their ticket to Wednesday's Cup, to the Pro Series. A huge, huge series. Shad at times putting in serious numbers. And Whysingleelim, they bow out. What a performance though from Almighty.
Again, the bounce back. The bounce back from Almighty. That first game in that series, 4-0 on Aquarius. You had Blackjack dropping 30, looking like he was primed and ready to have his handprint all over this series. And you bounce back. Bizarre Slayer. And then it's 1 apiece. And then you bounce back in Live Fire Strongholds as well. And then all of a sudden, you're down in round 2 of that oddball game. And they were down 78-0, Richie. 78-0, and they managed to come back. A well-fought game from Whysingleelim. And of course, we know some extenuating circumstances behind the scenes as well for Whysingleelim, as maybe put some players' mindsets elsewhere. But credit to Almighty, they came through in the clutch with the ice, and we'll be seeing another French roster take the Pro Series by storm on Wednesday.
France is so strong. Before we close out tonight, though, remember we're doing a giveaway over on Twitter on Xbox Series X limited edition console. It's a Halo one. It's pretty bloody nice, is what it is. Head over there for your chance to win. Check out what you need to do. A sub, don't forget, will give you 10 entries into the competition. So be in there to get your chance and get your hands on that console. It's a lovely bit of hardware, is what it is, and I'm only jealous. I'm going to try and rob it off Spilly, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, it's definitely worth doing. If you have a Prime subscription on your Twitch channel, or a spare £5 goes a long way, not only to entering that giveaway. Gives you 10 entries by subbing to this Twitch channel that you're watching this stream on. It gives you 10 entries to the giveaway for that Xbox, but also supports European grassroots Halo. We would love your support, and obviously it gives you a chance to win that amazing console as well. But by supporting the channel, you support European Halo, which again is what we all want to see. We want to give people incentive to take part in Halo, especially in Halo Infinite, which is such an amazing game. So make sure you check out Twitter, as Richie said.
Yeah, remember, we do this here out of pure passion. We're not getting paid to do this. We put on the stream, all the lads in the background doing the graphics as well. We have Tepec, the one, and Grenadator, all these boys that are involved on the French side of things. Halo Creation, shout out to them and the brilliant work that they do to help us get things going and rolling on this production. Spilly, of course, behind the camera, in our ears, whispering sweet nothings. All of this is for we do this for absolutely no money. So any help from you guys is always greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and of course, shout out to the admins as well. Keeping things ticking along in the background and making sure our games are always on time. We love you for it, and of course, all the players as well for taking part and putting on a show. I mean, today was an incredible event, and I can't wait to see the Pro Series on Wednesday.
Indeed. Well, that's going to be all from us. Everybody else, have a fantastic night. We hope to see you again next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.